Hold on. You got to do what, Froggy?
I had to help Roxanne. She has a lot of stuff today.
Can you get a little closer?
Sorry.
How long have you been working in radio? And you're like 3 feet away from the microphone.
Only 23 years.
All right. So you're breathing heavy.
Yeah.
You had to carry.
Yeah, Roxanne brought her kids, and she asked me to help her
right.
carry one.
This is Roxanne's bring the kids to.
And then I accidentally ran her into a rearview mirror of the Q105 truck.
Whoa, hold
bad about
what? What? Huh?
I was holding her like this, and I had all my stuff, and then I accidentally hit her into the mirror of the truck.
Oh, so you're carrying your crap, and then you've got one of Roxanne's kids under your arm?
Yeah, he carries her like a sack of potatoes.
Like a grocery bag.
Yeah.
And then you ram the kid's head.
It was an accident.
All right, so you've got 2 kids. You've brought them to work today. So I'm assuming one of them is asleep?
She's in there setting up her sleeping bag. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
The younger one, the one that just got her head bonked.
All right, so
She shouldn't sleep after a concussion.
Yes.
did it sound like this? Oh, what did you just say? Oh, that's right. If you have a suspected concussion, you're not supposed to go to sleep.
And I think I spilled some of my coffee on her, too.
Go take that. Just go rip that sleeping bag out of her hand.
All right, I'll be right back.
All right.
Wake up, kid.
No sleeping, possible concussion because of Froggy blocking the kids.
It's just tough
head.
to squeeze between 2 trucks holding a child.
All right, welcome, folks. This is the MJ Morning Show on Q105 at 104.7 FM. And that's right, Roxanne, you did say that you were going to bring your kids to work today. Not an officially sanctioned bring your kids to work day. And why are you bringing your kids to work day today?
One more night with Daddy out of town and running out of people that are willing to watch my children. I just feel bad.
Wow, so the kids are such monsters that
No.
Are
you a monster? Are you a monster?
Hold on. Yarr. All right. So you brought the kids, and right behind us, folks, they are starting to rebuild our studios. In fact, the studio right behind us was like a production room.
Yes.
That's been gutted, and new furniture has been put in, but there's no equipment yet. There's new carpeting on the floor, and the studio floors in this place. First of all,
Oh my God.
the floors in this studio are those like 12 by 12 tiles that were in like old elementary schools built in the 1960s. You know what I'm talking about? Those just shiny. And the custodian, the janitor, was always using the floor buffer machine. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
I mean, in a studio, you don't have a hard floor reflective surface. You have carpet. So they're putting carpet in the new studios, and right behind us, adjacent to this dump with the hard floor, there's nice new carpet in there. So that's where your kids are setting up their sleeping bags to take a nap.
What are you going to set up in there? Did you bring your new sleeping bag? What'd you bring?
It doesn't print. It's too
Yeah,
low.
if you're going to talk, you got to talk loud and put mommy in this room.
It's too low. All right,
low.
so too low. Oh, the high-low game. We haven't done that in a while here on Q1. Too low. Remember the high-low game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then we
So
get the
fun.
kids screaming, and it'll be too high.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, yeah.
So how much sleeping are the kids going to do? I mean, it is 6:04 in the morning.
I'm hoping they'll sleep for an hour and a half because we're going to go to the Rays game this afternoon. So we got to get some rest so we're not grumpy at the Rays game.
God, and your kid's favorite player is Wander Franco?
I mean, it was until he got put together on those
Oh, yeah.
charges.
Hey, keep Wander Franco away from your kids. How old are your kids?
7 and 4.
Yeah, definitely keep Wander
Yeah.
Franco
Keep the
away.
seven-year-old-
that's-
keep the 7-year-old away.
Wander Franco, whatever it is. Franco-American, Franco-American. You know what? He's Dominican.
Yes.
So he could start a whole line of canned pasta where every one tastes the same, just different shapes.
Franco Dominican.
Franco Dominican.
Yes.
Exactly.
See, she ran out of here when you started talking
Meatballs are
talking about him.
Oh, she knows Wander Franco, stranger danger right there. She's running right out.
She bolted.
All right.
Well, I hope your kid's head is okay. Is there a gash? Is there?
No,
Do we need to go to the first aid kit?
Oh, she's fine.
It was just blunt trauma.
All right,
No
guys.
blood.
I'm waiting for Froggy to roll his eyes. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, get ready for a Froggy eye roll.
No.
Or get ready for a Froggy disparaging comment.
No. No, about what? I have a sty in my eye. I can't roll it. It hurts.
You have a styes are usually
Yeah, you wanna
caused
see it?
by. I don't want to see your sty, but
It's right on the top of my eyelid.
aren't styes typically caused by
Stress?
dirty poop fingers?
Yes.
No, that's pink eye, right?
I mean, I think there's a whole litany of eye infection type things that can happen when
Oh,
you
yeah.
have poop in your face.
You're right. Yeah. Pink eye is poop eye.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah,
a lot of
it is.
times you
It-
don't wash your hands and that's how you get pink eye.
Ooh.
So you have a sty.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
tried to pop it this morning. It didn't work.
You don't want to pop a sty.
Oh, I always pop them.
All right, so Froggy, get ready to say something disparaging
No.
and nasty.
No, I would never. I promise I won't.
The video of the kid running away from the Spirit Airlines.
God.
See, I told you.
Has it hit 300,000 yet?
301,000.
Really?
Wow, that's a lot.
All right, so I told you yesterday.
301,000 overnight when I woke up this morning in the 4 a.m. hour. When I woke up at 4:40 this morning, it was at 300,000. Now it's at 301,000.
Wow, you're getting there.
Yeah, look at this thing. That's pretty big. 301,000 views on the kid running away repeatedly from the Spirit Airlines employees last Sunday morning at Tampa International Airport as an unaccompanied minor flying into Tampa from Fort Lauderdale. And the responsible party, the parent on the other end here in Tampa, couldn't find it in their means to get to the airport on time. So you have the Spirit Airlines flight attendants and the gate agents having to babysit this kid, and the kid kept bolting and running away from them like a 5 or 6 year old kid. Anyway, 300,000 plus views now. It's on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. Just getting rolling, folks. Going to be a busy Thursday. 6:07 traffic song, going to be 6:08 in a couple of seconds here. Pat, what's going on, buddy?
Well, as we say good morning to all of our listeners, jumping on I-4 westbound, maybe from the Lakeland area through Plant City.
Hey, Andrew, do me a favor. Reset Hungry Like the Wolf. I always meant to mention this. I don't know if I ever actually did. Andrew, bring up Hungry Like the Wolf. You got it. All right, where is it? All right, so right here. Let me just play this one more. But you got to get it out of the stack because then it's gonna just play and do all kinds of damage. Anyway, all right, I'll just play it. So the beginning of Hungry Like the Wolf. So why did it not go? Oh, stop it! I told you it's not working right. All right, just stop it. Reset it again. Maybe I shouldn't have even mentioned this. Maybe there's a reason why I shouldn't mention it. All right. Just reset it one more time. So the beginning laugh in Hungry Like the Wolf, I heard was like one of the girlfriends of one of the members. I don't know whether it was Simon LeBon or whoever.
There's a guy named Nick in the band?
Yeah, Nick. Yeah.
According to Google.
Yeah.
Who did...
Yeah, the laugh.
Yeah, who did the laugh during Hungry Like the Wolf? It said her name is Cheryl.
Okay, so Cheryl is the laugher in Hungry Like the Wolf.
And she had to come into the studio and record it live.
Yeah.
That sucks. Take two.
Yeah. All right.
That's awful.
What are all the different laughs? Would you love to hear the outtakes of that? So here's the actual. That's a.
Well, her real laugh is like this.
Yeah, she sounds like Urkel.
She's a laugh snorter.
Cheryl.
Is that it?
We're going to have to do that again, Cheryl.
Okay, let me try again.
Go.
Is that it?
All right, let's keep that one.
Cheryl, not bad.
Andrew, you getting Roxanne's face on MJTV when she does that?
My snort laugh face.
Andrew, take Roxanne's camera. Put Roxanne. Do the snort face again.
All right. MJ, are we done with Cheryl?
You're like Violet Bickerstaff.
I have a complaint.
What's the complaint?
A lot of morning shows now are doing like video stuff, right?
Yeah.
You can see your favorite morning show,
Yep.
how ugly they are.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of morning shows have 4 screens. Like where you could see each member of the morning show and their reaction.
Exactly.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, but why?
They were supposed to do that for us 3 years ago.
Yeah, it never happened.
We were supposed to get a new studio nearly 4 years ago when we first started here. Whatever is promised here never happens. So listen, we're supposed to get our new studio, but I don't know if they paid for the consoles yet. Last I heard, all the consoles were still sitting up at Wheatstone in North Carolina.
Oh, we have to pay for those? Oh, who knew?
No, the company's just going to send us the equipment at a charity. Of course, we got to pay for the damn things, Froggy.
Yeah, I get it. I was
know.
being facetious.
I know you were being facetious.
Does Buddy's Home Furnishings have like radio equipment we could rent? Maybe?
No, rent to own.
Rent to own, I know a couple people over at Buddy's. We can make a couple phone
This place
calls.
definitely needs a new paint of coat.
Anyway, so where were we?
We're Hungry Like the Wolf.
Oh, you were asking about,
I asked about
the
the
video system. Yes, we're supposed to get an updated video system for the studio where all of our cameras would be on the screen at the same time. So
Isn't that just a setting in OBS what we use now? Andrew, is it not? I would imagine.
Who that? Also, Andrew has to manually switch the cameras instead of them being microphone activated.
I'm pretty sure I could set up all 4 of them. I do it at my house on my PC when I'm gaming.
Well, not here. Anyway.
Has to be.
Do you want a job as head engineer? Because it's available.
It's like one button, I think. But okay.
Yes, we're done with Cheryl. Let's find Cheryl. Let's see what Cheryl thinks about our video system here on the MJ Morning Show. Listen, MJ TV is a lot of fun to watch, but just so you know, when the cameras switch, Andrew has to push the button manually to switch, and sometimes he misses some of the good stuff.
I've offered to do that job, by the way.
We're not on the, all on the screen at the same time.
Last week, we were giving away the $1,000 every hour, right? Huge promotion.
Well, and the week before.
$40,000 over 2 weeks.
Yeah, so week number 1 was brought to you by Lucan's Wine and Spirits. Love Lucan's. And week 2, last week, was brought to you by Kemp Law Group.
But you take caller 75,
and
you would direct his attention, rightfully so,
to screening all those calls. And that'll take, if I take caller 105, it takes him like 7 minutes to screen the calls.
One time he had the camera on Froggy the whole time, which was so entertaining because he's sitting there, rubbing,
laid back.
laid back,
smoking
Got
a
my
doob.
mind on my money.
You know,
I didn't
so
say-
predictable.
I thought I was like, we're just watching Froggy long form, and it was great. And I was thinking we should have like a camera on him all the time.
That's right.
It should only be a Froggy cast.
Got a question for you. Is this foreign destination starting to get the clue? Another American has been essentially let go from the Turks and Caicos by accidentally bringing some ammunition in his luggage to the Turks and Caicos. So this marks the second guy that is, well, paid a significant fine, but is not going to do 12 years in prison in the Turks and Caicos. I remember the story was that it's like a mandatory minimum if you have unauthorized ammunition or guns in the Turks and Caicos, that you could get 12 years. I thought it was like a mandatory minimum. So now we have the second American who has been sentenced. The latest, another American guy who mistakenly had some hunting ammo because he used a bag that he'd used on hunting trips.
Is this the Oklahoma guy?
Yeah, this is the Virginia dude.
Okay.
There are still 3 in Turks and Caicos. This dude is Tyler Winrick. He's a Virginia 911 operator and an emergency medical tech, an EMT. And he was nailed with a $9,000 fine. He was sentenced to 3 weeks in jail, not 12 years, but 3 weeks in jail. But he already spent that time in prison, so the court said, all right, even Steven, and then let the guy go. So he faced up to 12 years in prison, which is the maximum term for smuggling ammunition into the Turks and Caicos down in the Caribbean. We have another guy who was just released as well. He was there for months. This other guy, Brian Hagerich, father of 2, he was hit with a 52-week suspended sentence and a $6,700 fine. What are the time and the money? It's like all over the road. Were they making this up as they go along?
Yes.
Sounds like it.
They are.
Yeah, so he had some ammunition that was also in his bag from a hunting trip. So these are Americans that go to the Turks and Caicos. This Brian guy, the first guy that was released and his case was settled, he apparently was on a cruise ship, and he was on some excursion off the ship, and coming back to the ship, he was going through security and the metal detector, and I guess he had a bag, a duffel or a knapsack or a backpack, whatever, and that's when it was discovered that he had the ammo, and they arrested him, and he was in jail in the Turks and Caicos since like February. So that case has been settled. Now we have a second one. There are 3 more Americans that accidentally brought ammo in their luggage to the Turks and Caicos that were waiting for a final disposition of their cases. 3 more Americans. The reason why I said is the Turks and Caicos, are they starting to get it here? Because if they started whacking Americans with 12-year prison sentences,
Screw that.
do you know the backlash? Do you know the boycotting that would have happened?
It'll affect their whole tourism.
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
It would totally F up their tourism. No
I'm
doubt
not
about
going
it.
there and risking going to jail.
Exactly. Can you imagine the friends, the families, the campaigns, the news stories? Americans sentenced to 12 years, accidentally having a couple of rounds. They didn't have a gun to shoot the rounds.
Right.
But 12 years. So I think the Turks and Caicos is having a little bit of a wake-up call. And don't mess with Americans and toss them in jail for 12 years for something completely accidental. So that's why I'm saying that the Turks and Caicos are apparently starting to get it.
Careful, Turks and Caicos, who
Yeah.
you mess with.
And there are 3 more Americans, 3 more
Oh, God.
similar ammunition charges, and they are awaiting their fate in the Turks and Caicos. Anybody but me been to the Turks and Caicos? Roxanne, you been there?
No, Doug has, but I have
I'm
not.
sure. Was it a golf thing with Jeter?
I mean,
Of course.
I was prior to me knowing him. Yeah, I don't think he's been since I've known him.
It was prior to you knowing him.
Yes.
Okay, all right. And Fester, you haven't
Nah.
even been to Bartow, so
Yeah, I mean, I have no desire to go to the Caribbean. Oof.
I've been to the Caicos, not the Turks.
Oh, yeah. The Caribbean is so offensive. It's awful. It's terrible.
Listen, first of all,
Who would want to go to the Caribbean?
they're all dumps.
Yeah,
they're
right.
all dumps. The
Not
water's-
where the resort
the
is.
resorts are nice to be. Listen, if I want a nice resort, I'll go down to Sarasota. All right, if I was
What are you eating?
Yeah,
Your
for
mouth is all
real.
sloshy.
Oh, I found this new
Jeez.
trail mix.
You've been
course.
sloshier lately,
Well,
just
okay,
as a
I
whole.
found the new trail
You've got
mix.
slosh mouth going on.
Listen, today I'm extra sloshy.
It's kind of like Froggy's little slosh mouth tech dude.
Yeah, my name is Mark Zuckerberg.
So-
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Aldi, right?
Yeah.
Aldi has like a bunch of. Have you don't go to Aldi, so you don't know. They have like many different varieties of trail mixes.
You know, I would go to an Aldi or check out an Aldi if there was an Aldi convenient to my South Tampa haunt, but there's nothing. There's no Aldi near me. Now, we have a Winn-Dixie up the street here on 4th. You know, just before you get to 275, you get the shopping center with the Winn-Dixie in there.
But that's probably
and-
going to stay a Winn-Dixie.
But that's the question, because the company that bought the Winn-Dixies is the company that owns Aldi, and reports are that they're going to change some Winn-Dixies to Aldis. And if they put an Aldi right up the street from our studio, then I could hit Aldi on the way home, getting on the bridge to head back to Tampa.
So they have all these different versions of trail mixes, and not that
You
any
should
of them,
say they have Aldis.
Mm-hmm. Good one.
Aldis.
So
All these types of trail mixes.
I don't want to trick anybody into thinking that a trail mix is a healthy snack, because there's nuts. There's usually like dry
M&M's.
M&Ms,
trail mix.
and so they have one called Indulgent, right?
Ooh.
Right.
Which is like 10% nuts,
Yep.
5% raisins,
Mhm.
and then like 80% different kinds of chocolate chips. It's like a deconstructed candy bar,
Mm.
and it's fantastic. And that's the kind I buy because that's
So
what I
that's
would
what
want
you
on
were
a trip.
just eating with your whole sloshy
Yeah.
mouth just a
The
moment
glutton
ago?
mix.
Indulgent. Yes.
What'd you call it? The glutton
Yeah,
mix?
Yes, that's what they call it.
Nothing
It's
but
not gluten free.
treats.
It's glutton.
Yeah.
It's not glutton free.
Yeah.
It's glutton plus.
Yeah.
Is
They
what
have
it is.
white chocolate, peanut butter chocolate chips, semi-sweet chocolate chips,
My
and
God,
a little bit of nuts.
That's a party for Festa right there.
Oh.
a little bit of
Yeah.
almonds, a little bit of cashews.
You know,
and,
Cashews, not cashews.
and well, yeah, you know what's so funny? We were talking about cashews the other day and the cashew apple,
Yeah.
and I always said cashew, and you really put the emphasis
Cashew.
on the shoe.
I
part.
say cashew.
bless you.
Yeah, it's a
You say-
cashew.
Yeah.
The emphasis is the shoe. It's the cashew.
Cashew. All right, 6:32 at the MJ Morning Show. I've got a really solid pile of early morons in the news next. You like your morons? Got them in minutes on the MJ Morning Show. Stand by. Some days are better than others. I mean, you always have good morons. There's just no shortage. But some days, there's just shining stars of morons, I guess is what I'm saying.
Ah, yes.
And here we go. Of course, it's a Florida couple. Yep, a duo here in Florida stole about $20,000 worth of items, including Stanley Cups.
From the hockey team?
Not the Stanley Cup. No, not Lord Stanley's Cup. The overpriced status symbol drink cups. What does a Stanley Cup cost? Is it like $40, $50 a piece?
$40, I think.
They make
Sounds
different
about right.
sizes now.
Yeah.
They have like the Stanley gallon now.
I have a big one.
Maybe not a gallon.
I never saw the skit, but some people sent me some memes. I think Saturday Night Live did a skit during the season a couple of months back, and I think they called it the Big Dumb Cup or something. Seriously.
That's funny.
About right.
They did I think a fake commercial for the Stanley Cup, and they called it the Big Dumb Cup. So here we have a couple here in Florida, duo. They stole Stanley Cups. They ripped off high-end perfumes, bog bags. What the hell is a bog bag? I meant to look this when I saw this last night. I meant to look up bog bag, but I forgot.
Loves her bog bag.
What is a bog bag?
It's essentially a bag that's made of the same kind of material as a crock.
It's got the little holes in it, so it's got vents in it.
Oh, we talked about this months ago.
Yes, we did.
That's right. I forgot that. I don't remember saying bog bag.
There's a bunch of knockoffs now. I think I was at Sam's Club. They had a knockoff. But a bog bag is like made of that same kind of plasticky, foamy material as a crock.
Now that you brought it up on our computer screen, we talked about this maybe back in the fall. It's been a while.
Comes in all different colors.
Do you have a bog bag?
No, I don't.
Do you want a bog bag?
I mean, apparently Allison loves them. I might try one.
It's a great bag.
Froggy, does your wife have a bog bag?
I think we do use it for like the beach, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great beach bag. It's a great carry-all. It's a great thing to put in the back of your trunk to put kids' crap in.
Yeah.
You know what my wife does? She keeps it in the back of her Tesla, and she puts all of her Amazon returns in
that's
there.
smart.
And then when it's loaded up, she'll take it back to the UPS store and return all her crap to Jeff.
Yeah, the items, a lot of them stolen from Dick's Sporting Goods.
My wife loves those, too.
Yeah, Academy Sports and Outdoors, Ulta Beauty.
Ulta
Beauty, CVS and Walmart. And they were ripping places off in various counties, Orange County, Orlando area, Palm Beach County, Broward, Brevard. Looks like these monsters didn't make it over to, our area directly.
Yeah, all this stuff is easy to move, too.
Listen to this. Jimmy Carter Lamar and Donicaria Eunice Burgess, they're the thieves. So Jimmy Carter Lamar and
great.
Donkeria, Donkeria, Donkeria Eunice Burgess. That duo, they stole this stuff. They were on a 30-day crime spree. Over $20,000 in stuff stolen, and they've been arrested. And, of course, the whole Stanley Cup deal, those things are viral, and I don't get it. You can get a knockoff cup or a similar cup for, what, half the price?
I kept tipping mine over, and it would leak everywhere, so you have to get that stopper for it, or you're going to have a mess.
So you kept tipping your Stanley Cup over and spilling liquid all over the place?
Pretty much. Yep.
It happens.
The good thing about it is there's not much of a smell because the vodka you drink typically, there's no real smell to that stuff. So.
I don't drink vodka.
Much. Kill a person. Let's get it straight.
Stanley Cup all loaded up with vodka. Hey, this could be trouble. I wonder what the coach is going to have to say about this. Did you see that a rising freshman? This is not a good way to start off your football career at University of Florida. This is not a good Gator move right here. Rising freshman spent 3 days in jail, got into a high-speed chase with police up in Georgia, and the kid's a recruit to play football for the Gators.
That's not the speed he wants to be known for.
Mekhi Burrow, 18, was pulled over last weekend in Monroe County, Georgia, going 86 on I-75. They tried to pull him over. They lit him up. Police turned on lights and sirens because, speed is probably 70.
70, 75?
So, this is I-75 up in Georgia. The speed's probably 70. He's doing 86. They try to light him up. He takes off and gets up to 150 miles an hour to try to evade Georgia authorities. Kid's about to start playing football for the Gators. I wonder what happens in this case. Because sometimes, coaches will make an example out of somebody and kick him off.
Depends how good he is.
Yeah, it depends how talented of a young man this player is. I mean, if the coach wants him on the team, he may just, give him a little discipline. But that's it.
Can I point something out to Michai, Michai? Can I point something out? Son, this is no way to start your life.
Tell you what.
Hit with 5 charges, fleeing or attempting to elude police officer. That's a felony charge. Obstruction of law enforcement officers, speeding in excess of maximum limits, driving while having a suspended or revoked license, reckless driving. You're 18? You just graduated high school. You're going to the University of Florida in Gainesville, and you already have a suspended license, and you're driving on it?
I gotta say, for all
That's
the,
why he ran?
for all the law runnings they have in Gainesville, this is really low on the totem pole.
I know he ran because of suspended license. Boo. He went 15 pounds of coke in the car. And
Yeah, he
guns.
enrolled in Florida this past January. He chose the Gators over Georgia last December, signing his national letter of intent.
Pick the Gators.
All right, go Gators.
So what do you think? You think this kid stays with the Gators? I guess I get what Roxanne said. It's
Yeah.
probably accurate. Depends on how good the kid is.
Look at his stats.
This young man gets cut with a name like Borreo. Borreo?
But I threw the story in the
Burrow?
trash. Whatever the hell it was.
Looks like he could play for LSU Tigers with a name like Burrow.
Yeah. This is not good. Oh, you
Cajun
gotta-
Pester.
look,
Cajun Pester in the house.
You didn't bite. It's okay. Keep her.
Anyway, so this is not good. A Wisconsin family, this is up in Wisconsin. So from Florida moron to Wisconsin moron, a Wisconsin family is going to sue a daycare center because their baby tested positive for cocaine.
What?
Oh, my gosh.
You heard me right there, Frogster. This is terrible. The family of a
Wow.
1-year-old little kid is going to sue one of the largest child care companies in the United States after the baby tested positive for cocaine after being cared for at one of their daycare facilities.
I'm very curious as to how they figured this out to get the baby tested for this.
Ivory Lamar, that is comma, no,
Apostrophe.
geez, why can't I?
Come on.
Thank you.
Basic English.
Yeah.
Basic pronunciation.
Thank you, Fester.
Grammar.
Yeah, I'm usually the one correcting you guys in here. All right, so B''Ivory, Ivory. I've never heard of that damn name.
Ivory.
Lamar is the attorney representing Kimberly Hobson, and this child has been abused. The Hobson family is planning to sue KinderCare learning centers.
Oh, that is a big one.
Yes, it's the largest in the country for what they say is child neglect. The lawyer is claiming that the parents say the son was being watched at KinderCare in Oak Creek, Wisconsin earlier this month, and they think that something really, really nefarious happened. The reason Lamar says she got a call that the infant was getting incredibly sick, and when they finally picked him up, she claims that he had a bunch of bruises, abrasions on his body, including one on his mouth. Wasn't there when they dropped the kid off, so they claim. They took the child to the ER and they did all kinds of tests on the kids, and that's when the kid ended up testing positive for cocaine. Yeah, cops say they were called for a potential child abuse case, and note that when the baby in question's urine was tested, it showed traces of cocaine in the system. And then they did a search of the KinderCare itself, including sweeping the infant room, and they claimed that cocaine was found in one of the staffers' bags. Oh, my God. Can you imagine that?
Like, did the baby get into it?
It's not KinderCare.
sounds like it.
It's Coke Care. Oh, my
Maybe
God.
the kid just has a early problem.
What's going on? I mean, one would think maybe it's like the parents and they're trying to pawn it off on.
Yeah, that's what I thought initially, but if they have the evidence,
Are the parents somehow involved in the coke in the baby's system and it was just coincidental they found the coke in some worker at the daycare center? I don't know. Just a bizarre story, but they're planning on suing.
Yeah, these folks over at Kinder Coke have got to be really upset.
Kinder Coke.
I'm sorry, KinderCare. I'm sorry.
Man, let's not paint all KinderCares across the country with what might be some shortcomings at this facility in Wisconsin. But that's what we call morons in the news, folks. There's no 1-year-old that should test positive for cocaine. And why is the kid all banged up and bruised?
You had to fight the dealer for the bag.
Oh, jeez.
That's awful.
Come on, Freud. What's the matter with
What's
you?
the matter with
Hey,
you,
some people
Froggy?
start this stuff young.
That's terrible. All right, 7 o'clock hour straight ahead, 6:52. rolling up on 6:53 at the MJ Morning Show. If you're looking for luxury, folks, if MJ Morning Show, almost 7:02. And Fester, what were you doing live on the program just a few minutes ago? You brought this, it turned into a discussion. You're giving us your shopping list as well. What were you doing? Come on.
We're talking about we were eating my trail mix.
Yes.
The indulgence. Indulgent trail mix that I buy from Aldi.
Yep, that's it. So
it's got more chocolate in it than it does nuts or dried fruits.
Fester is a massive snacker here on the MJ Morning Show. Can you list, let's just say the last 60 days, just over the last 60 days, can you list the various snack items that you've enjoyed while on the microphone live on the show?
Oh, my God. I mean, what genre do you want to start with? Dried meats, cookies, fruits? I mean, you name it. I mean, I go down different angles. I mean, listen, I normally don't bring snacks into work. I normally just pilfer the receptionist bowl. We have a new receptionist, or new, I shouldn't call it
sales assistant.
A sales assistant.
Yes, please use the right nomenclature.
And
Gosh, what year do you think it is?
Well,
we got a doll in the office.
So no dame works there.
Have you seen the dame?
So They hired a couple of new.
come on
She's
back.
showing her right shoulder.
I tell you what, come on back to the office. Let's oogle a little bit,
Yeah.
and we'll have some drinks off my beverage cart with the alcohol on it.
That's right.
So
Was this Mad Men 1961?
she is, I believe, and I don't know this firsthand.
Yeah.
But I guess I do. I think she's like of Asian American descent, to where she has like all of these candies from Japan, and she has all these American candies in her bowl.
I
Yummy.
like Japanese candy.
Right, I
Tell you
mean-
what, if you go to Japan, folks, go to a convenience store. Go to a 7-Eleven or a Lawson. That's a did you know this? A huge chain of convenience stores in Japan is Lawson. I don't know why it has like a Western name. It's
Lawson, yeah.
Lawson. Lawson convenience stores are all over Japan. I mean, thousands of them. So you go into one of these convenience stores, the Japanese candy is the best.
And not
Anyway.
only does it taste good, they package it so beautifully.
They do. Absolutely right.
So anyway, she brings in Japanese candy.
Yep.
I go through that in the wee early
right,
mornings before
listen,
it gets
all
here.
right,
But
listen.
I mean, we're talking Slim Jims, Oreos.
Last 60 days, please list
Oh,
all the
God.
snacks you can think of.
I mean, how long? We only have a 4-hour.
Slim Jims, Oreos.
Well, hold on a second. Let me
Takis.
hold on. Let me play the pyramid music. Are you ready?
Manatee
Here we go.
cake.
All right. Go ahead.
Well, okay, start again. I had the Slim
Yes.
Jims,
Yep.
several different flavors.
Right.
Oreo cookies,
Right.
always double stuff if I have a choice.
Yes.
Takis. Oh, I had that last week.
I don't like this.
Oh, you know what? They're growing on me.
Texture's a little rough.
You know what? It is, but it's growing on
The
me.
Takis, they're supposed to have like ridiculously high sodium and fat.
None of that stops me.
All right.
I've
Right.
never had a taki.
I am impervious to high sodium.
Right.
A couple of weeks ago, we had I still have half a bucket of those cheddar cheese little puff balls.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I still have half of those in the office.
The giant bucket of balls, the
But-
cheese balls from
Cake?
from Sam's or Costco.
You know, but the cake was brought in. It's not really something I snacked on
Yeah.
during the show. I don't know if that qualifies. However,
Yes.
I have brought little Debbie cakes into the
All
show.
right, now, folks, stay with us here because there's a reason why I'm bringing this up. There's a reason why I'm asking Fester all of the items he's snacked on live on the show in the last 60 days. I look over at him, and he's always got something in his mouth.
Oh, White Castle burgers.
Well,
4 of them.
All right, that's it. There we go.
Those are good.
That was 60 seconds. All right.
last week I had ruffled potato chips.
The reason why I'm bringing this up,
Wrap snacks.
the reason why I'm mentioning this on the program is because new research, new science, snacking on junk food could seriously corrode your memory, according to a new study.
Uh-oh.
But look at you, Fester. You were able to name all those things. You have a good memory
But
still.
wait a sec. But there are
Who are
other.
you?
But there are other instances on the show of late where I kind of concur. It's almost like you've had some memory lapses.
I know this is going to sound really awkward, but I used to work with a guy that looked just like you. Man, it's uncanny.
So the story goes that research usually points to junk food having bad effects on the heart, weight gain, obviously, and, well, that's also evident. But a new study...
I'm sorry to interrupt, sir. Have you ever been to Tampa? Because you look really familiar. Wow. I can't quite place it, but
New... No,
Anyway.
are you done with your little sideshow comedy act over here? All right. So researchers from Massachusetts General Hospital, they are now showing that consuming just a modest amount of processed foods like snack foods increases the risk of memory problems and stroke. I got to be honest, Fester, I'm concerned because you are, I hate to say this,
tell me.
but I think you're a stroke candidate.
Oh, I am. I have officially thrown in my candidacy for a stroke.
Yay! Fester
Stroke 2024.
And where can donations be made?
We're going to make strokes great again.
Oh, that's awful. What is wrong with you?
It's all right.
That is horrific.
We don't make
I like-
jokes.
I've had
Make
relatives.
it stroking.
I know.
That's
It's
more
what
a
you're doing.
movement people
We
can
don't
get
make
behind.
strokes
You're
jokes.
terrible.
What did you just say?
I said make stroking the movement, not strokes.
Oh, wait, what?
What
Your
stroking?
daughter's right
what
behind you.
stroking are you talking about?
One that's over the head
hold
of
on. Now-
one that's
now-
over the
hold
head
on.
of children in the
now,
room.
Now you're trying to shush us? You said it?
Oh, you're shushing a radio
And
show
now,
host?
now you're shushing me? Because your daughter is sitting right next to you?
Now, listen.
After you brought up stroking?
Yeah,
I mean,
like
stroke it.
like a back rub and whatnot.
Anyway,
What not?
Evelyn, do you hear your mother over here making stroking jokes?
the hell?
Yeah.
All right. So anyway, common examples of these UPFs. You know what a UPF is?
Yes.
It's an ultra-processed food. Soft drinks, sugary beverages, salty and sugary snacks, potato chips, tortilla chips, cheese puffs, crackers, cookies, cake, candy. This is all stuff that
That's my whole diet.
That's it.
That's my whole hurricane preparedness kit.
Right there. Those are Fester's food groups right there.
You're ready.
Fast food, ready-to-eat meals, processed meats. You eat a ton of processed meats.
Yes.
Yeah, so memory, strokes. Anyway, the list goes on and on. There's like 2 pages of things here. And when I saw this story last night that snacking on junk food could also damage your memory, I'm like, yep, that's Fester. Oh, what's up with the van guy? We brought this up, or you brought it up to me last week. Is the van guy still in play, or what's the story here?
I haven't talked to him in a couple of days.
All right, you got to get him on the phone. Maybe get him on the phone later on. Here's the deal.
He's a good guy.
He is. So, folks, have you noticed like a big white van with the MJ Morning Show logo driving around town? I have had countless people for years now send me pictures. Hey, I saw the MJ Morning Show van. It's not an official van.
No.
It is a show fan that entered. Yes, a guy who entered our contest like 3+ years ago. Remember we did a contest? You know, the MJ Morning Show is back, and the best display won a brand new Kia from Crown Kia. Remember that?
And then second and third place were money prizes.
Yeah. Then we gave away like I think it was $10,000 and $5,000. It was a great contest.
Well, he came in third place. He won $5,000.
Oh, he won third place.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, that first place was the guy with the aliens and the MJ Morning Show sign, sort of between Plant City and Thanodisassa?
In that area. Yeah.
On I-4. I wish that guy would get a hold of me. Yeah, because I have some ideas.
You know where he lives.
Yeah.
But it's his property. We could just drive
I know.
by.
But do you know how to get there? What exit? How to get to the guy's house?
I got MapQuest.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, I can figure out ways.
if you drive I-4 westbound toward Tampa, and again, not far from Plant City or so, you see that the sign on the side, you know, the MJ Morning Show, and he had a big like green alien head there for a while. He won, right? That was the first place winner. That guy won a Kia from the MJ Morning Show.
He won the car. Yeah.
The guy driving around in a white van with the MJ Morning Show logos on the side, he's just a listener. And Fester, he approached you, and what was he suggesting?
It's time for the van to be rewrapped.
Okay.
Or redone on the outside.
Okay.
And he has a company that he's going to use to do that, but it's several $1,000s.
Oh, what kind of wrap would he put on the van?
Well, that's just it. I mean, if we wanted to have the MJ Morning Show wrap put back on the van,
Okay.
I think he's looking for maybe some financial consideration.
What?
Oh,
Is
no,
that
hold
the
on.
way it works?
Well, no, he's saying, listen, I can rewrap it because it's more expensive if you want a detailed wrap as opposed to like a white wrap or,
full wrap.
or a gray
Yeah.
wrap. So he could get like the gray wrap for like, you know, a couple of $1,000s. But if you wanted it digitally printed and, of course, professionally put on, it's like a couple of $1,000s more.
Well, I wonder if we could. We've got no budget here for this. I mean,
No.
We got a sweet pool table.
we have no budget, but I wonder if we can find a company that does like logo wraps on vehicles and maybe do some kind of a trade deal. You know, we'll give
For
them
some listener's vehicle?
Well, but the guy's all over the place. It's a great driving billboard.
Oh,
it's a
God.
big white like step van kind of thing. Whatever you call, what do you call those? Like
It's
a
a Sprinter van.
There we go. A
He
Sprinter van.
explained to me his daily route.
Right.
He's a disabled veteran, and he gets treatment over at the Haley Hospital in Tampa. He travels from Clearwater to
Yeah.
Tampa like 4 days a week.
Yeah, he's all over the place.
He's all over.
I would love this guy to have a really good MJ Morning Show logo on the van. So, and I have ideas. If there is a logo wrapping company and you want to, get into a promotional consideration agreement with us and get mentions on the MJ Morning Show, contact us. So if you're in the business of wrapping vehicles with logos, send me an email, mj@mjmorningshow.com, because I've got some great ideas since this guy's on the road for hundreds of miles a week, apparently.
You know,
And also, he sent me an email, Fester.
Yeah, his
and
name is Bill.
And I turned the email over to you, and in the email, his name is Bill.
Yeah, Bel Air is what his friends call him, and I guess we're his friends.
So Bill, Bel Air, whatever. He even pointed out that his driving record is clean.
Never has been stopped.
He even said that he doesn't drive like an a-hole. It's because the last thing we want is some maniac, with the MJ Morning Show logo on his van, like cutting people off and swerving, and we don't need someone flipping off drivers when they're honking at him. So no, this guy's a very courteous United States disabled veteran. So if there's any company out there that would like to work with us to get a new logo wrap on this guy's van, as he drives all over the place promoting the MJ Morning Show, get a hold of me. Hey, we'll do an official trade deal with the MJ Morning Show and Q105 and make it worth your while if you'll wrap this guy's van with our new artwork. Simple as that. Send me an email if you're in the biz. MJ@MJMorningShow.com. That's MJ@MJMorningShow.com. What happened in Plant City? This dude set himself on fire inside Publix?
What was that?
This is insane. All right, hold on to that thought. We got to get into that when we come back in just a minute. We start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. I'm also calling out Google. Man, Gmail is a fraud. I'm telling you. Gmail, maybe I just need to get off Gmail. Gmail is ticking me off. There's some racket going on. I brought this up a couple of weeks ago or maybe 10 days ago, and I'm really getting aggravated with Google and Gmail. And folks, you know how many of you are on Gmail? A lot. So what is getting me all ticked and torqued regarding Gmail? We'll get into that coming up in just a bit. We've got the flight attendant thing. Never make this flight attendant mistake when you're on a plane. We'll get into that. I'm looking at I can't even tease everything. There's so much coming up. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ starts next. So whatever you do, do not move. Hey, I am getting... 94.7 FM, MJ and the crew, Froggy, Fester, Roxanne, of course, me, MJ. What a weird day. We got this guy that set himself on fire in the Publix out in Plant City. We have this police officer in Bartow that has completely upended, public trust. Most law enforcement officers are fantastic. The overwhelming bulk of law enforcement officers, whether it's your city police department, your county sheriff's office, are fine, upstanding public servants that want to help people. But in any walk of life, you have some bad apples. And I asked Sheriff Grady Judd to pop on with us this morning to talk about this Bartow cop that is, a scoundrel. Sheriff, can you fill us in on what this guy did?
Sure, MJ. The good news is his colleagues turned him in. But he's an idiot. He's an absolute idiot. Not only was he messing around with a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and two 18-year-olds, not only did he video them, not only did he choke two of them, not only did he give them THC gummies and smoked marijuana with them.
What else could this guy add to the list?
He got to add a trip to the jail to the list.
Yeah.
But his colleagues looked at this and go, oh, this is not good.
So he was showing his coworkers, Sheriff, he was showing them videos that he was shooting of the underage girls in these compromising scenes?
Sent this video clip to one of the crime scene techs, and we don't know who all else saw it in the police department, but they immediately went to their superiors and determined, well, this conduct is occurring at his home outside the city of Bartow. So the police department immediately notified us, and my detectives, who are the very best, began this investigation. You just cannot understand the level of stupid this was. And he was very smug about the whole investigation, like, what is wrong with you? So, he lawyered up, and we thought, well, you need a good lawyer because we're going to do our best to send you to prison for a long time because you have embarrassed yourself, you've embarrassed the Bartow Police Department, and you've embarrassed law enforcement at large. But do you know what? Even with the best backgrounds and psychs and polygraphs and all of that occurs before you hire law enforcement officers, occasionally somebody slips through the cracks, and he did.
The officer, Mark Anthony Fernandez, 24 years old. This guy's goose is cooked. And we're on the phone with Sheriff Grady Judd, Polk County. And, Sheriff, one of the creepiest things to come out of the story was that he knew that one of the girls was 17 years old and tells her you're going to be 18 for the night.
Yes, absolutely. And here's what's interesting. One of the girls was wearing his Bartow police jacket when he instructed the juvenile to perform a sex act on the 18-year-old while he recorded it. And then he sent that to his colleagues.
Yeah, this guy's got mental problems. Sheriff, this guy's something screwed up in this dude's head. How the heck did he make it past all the evaluations to become a Bartow cop?
People can go bad later on.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing we can figure, that he just thought he could get away with this. He thought, hey, I'm a cop. I can do what I want. Well, listen, you know where that cop is now? He's sitting in my county jail, and he's locked up. How'd that work out for him?
So, Sheriff, he also refused to resign from the Bartow Police Department. What is this guy thinking?
Well, I have no idea. What he's going to do, he's going to collect all the money he can. There's a due process that is required in law. So if you don't resign, you can pick up an extra 5 days of work, and then they'll move you to unpaid status, and then they'll have another hearing, and then I'm certain that they'll terminate him because their administrative part of this investigation at the police department is going to show the same thing, obviously, that our criminal investigation did. But he's just jerking them around, which, doesn't surprise me. But, at this point in time, there is no future for him in law enforcement. Hey, there's no future for him walking the streets for a lot of years if he's convicted as charged, and that's what we pray for.
I'll tell you what the future holds for him. It's making sure he has enough money in his Florida prison commissary account.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah, and he'll meet Big Bubba in prison.
Yeah, Sheriff, I'm glad you brought that up. Generally speaking, how popular are former police officers in prison?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they're not popular at all. In fact, they're seen as the enemy, and it's kind of like red meat in the jail cell. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, even when we keep them in the county jail, we have to separate them. We cannot let them in population in order to protect their life.
Yeah, it's a Gen Pop problem. So I don't know if you know this because, of course, we're on with Sheriff Grady Judd, the sheriff of the Polk County Sheriff's Office. Bartow, of course, inside of Polk. How many officers does the Bartow Police Department have?
They have about 45, I think 45 police officers.
So, I mean, it's a small department, and the bulk of those officers are fine officers sworn to uphold the law and serve the people of Bartow. And here you have one bad apple that's kind of screwing up the card here.
Well, you know, and they're all angry with him as well because they're fine young men and women that work at the police department. In fact, they're the ones that turned him in.
Yeah.
It wasn't someone from the outside. It was their professional colleagues that they work with. So this is not a Bartow Police Department problem. This is an individual problem. And think about this, MJ. We give psychologicals. We give polygraphs. We give backgrounds. But, you know, when you send your kid to school, those teachers don't take polygraphs. When you go to the doctor or the dentist or your lawyer or your CPA, they don't take psychologicals or polygraphs. And you know, all of this conduct happens, unfortunately, in every discipline. Your pharmacist doesn't take a psychological or a polygraph, but you don't ever know about those because they're not in an area of high-profile public trust. And we air them out. We didn't try to hide this guy because that's how you build trust in the community, for the community to say, hey, we know there's going to be a bad apple occasionally, but we know something else, that Grady Judd and his guys are going to do what's right. And the chief in Bartow and his guys and gals did what was right. They reported it, we investigated it, and we locked them up. And that's a message for everyone. Yeah, we're not perfect. We never claimed to be. But we hold people to a higher accountability than the average community worker in this nation.
Mark Anthony Fernandez, Bartow cop, is done. Looking again at the charges here: promotion of a juvenile in a sexual performance, use of a juvenile in a sexual performance, battery by strangulation, illegal use of two-way communication device, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, 2 counts. That's the THC, the marijuana, providing alcoholic beverages to a person under 21. And again, you had a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, and 2 18-year-olds. This guy's cooked. Sheriff, thanks for coming on this morning.
All right, MJ, y'all be safe. Have a good day.
All right, thanks, Sheriff. Sheriff Grady Judd out in Polk County. Nuts. Well, I mean, can you imagine? 24-year-old police officer in Bartow, and that's what this guy's racking up, and he's got underage girls and with sexual performances at his house in Lake Wales? What is this guy thinking?
Imagine if no one had put a stop to him.
What a total, complete mess. I got to figure out what's going on with Gmail. I'm on my last nerve here. Over the years, I've had Gmail, I'm trying to think how long, since probably the mid-2000s, 2006, maybe 2008. Trying to think, because I've gone back and I cleaned up and I erased just tons of stuff over the years. I want to say maybe 08. And I've done this repeatedly over the years. When you get to 15 gigabytes in your Gmail account, and that includes your email, it includes attachments and files and photos, because I use a Pixel phone, so the pictures get backed up to Google. So all that counts toward your limit of 15 gigabytes for free. I don't choose to pay the $1.99 a month to jack up the storage. All right, you want to call me a cheap wad, whatever. Listen, call me all the names you want, all right? But I kind of like just using the account. They have a, you know what? Google is getting enough analytics off of me. They're gleaning my stuff. They're hitting me with promotional ads and all that kind of stuff. So they're getting their money's worth out of me. But here's the problem. So I get the notification that my account is full. And this has happened many times over the years. And I'll go in and I'll erase thousands of emails. You know, I've got a whole series of emails that I get emails from a certain source every single day, and it adds up. You got a couple of years worth of stuff. Listen, Roxanne, all of the emails you send me for prep over the last 3 years. Fester, the emails that you send me for prep. Froggy, you don't send me jack crap.
Yeah, that's not what I do.
But I don't need to save that stuff. That is all just daily. It expires. It's timely news stuff that I don't need to save. So here's the deal. I get the recent notification on my Gmail that my storage is about to shut down, or what do they say? That pretty soon you won't be able to send and receive email. You know, I get this big red banner on my account. You know, they try to put you into panic mode, and then they try to move you to pay, $1.99 a month for additional storage, etc. But instead, I go in and I erase crap. This is bizarre. I have erased 4,000 plus emails. I have gone in and I've now erased about 1,000 photos. You know, stuff that I didn't need, duplicates and everything. I have erased a schnit ton of crap, and my account is still sitting at 15 gigabyte with the warning that, hey, I'm about to get shut down and I'm not going to be able to send and receive email, blah, blah, blah. Would you like to buy? What is going on? I've done this no less than probably 10 times over the last 15, 18, whatever it is. I've erased all kinds of stuff, and my account would come down to like 10 gigabytes or 11 gigabytes, sometimes 12 or 13, giving me months and months and months of additional, Google Gmail usage. I have erased as much or more than I have in the past, but it's not budging. So what kind of racket are they pulling now? It's almost like they have a new model or algorithm where they're really trying to get me, MJ, to pay them $2 a month.
I think I went through the same thing a while ago, and I just gave up and signed up to pay them because I remember.
Sucker!
Yeah, I remember this
What?
happening where it was like I would delete stuff, but nothing. My data number wouldn't go down significantly or at all.
Well, that's what's happening to me.
Right,
It
so-
always did in the past, and now it's not.
Maybe
I
there's
just ignore it.
Yeah, maybe there's a tech person who can answer that question. Why would you,
I need
when
to
you
get
delete
Don the
stuff?
IT guy on the phone or something.
Right?
No, it's these are all good questions. Why has it always happened in the past and now it's not happening, Roxanne?
I don't know, but I mean, I just was a sucker and just paid it just so I didn't have to deal with it anymore. And now you should see how much stuff I have stored in there. Whew. It is one full inbox.
Oh, boy.
Woo-wee.
Whoa, listen.
I don't have to worry about a thing. Got all kinds of space.
I'm yacked off. Do I sound yacked off?
I mean, for a
Sound a
free,
little yacked.
for a
Uh-huh.
free email account, you do seem a little pissed off about it. I mean, yacked off.
Yeah,
sorry.
I know. People are saying, hey, MJ, you cheapskate. MJ, you're a freeloader. Why don't you pony up? You know, quit being a cheapskate. Listen, I can hear people, talking about it now. But, all I know is that I know what the pattern has been. And I've just erased a boatload, and now I've erased a total boatload as much or more than the past, and my damn storage number is not moving. In fact, remember, I think I even mentioned this last week because I've already brought this up, and I've erased thousands of emails since. Last week, I had erased a ton of stuff, and it actually went up. It went like 15 point, 086 or something. 15 point. I mean, it even went up. I'm erasing.
Could you
all
give us
kind-
a further out decimal place?
what? Yeah.
15.086.
3.1415.
They offer you a free account. You take the free account, and then you try to follow their rules, and they're not working with you. I don't get it.
They're not.
Do you have some huge attachment in one of these emails
No,
that's getting by you?
Nope.
Some people suggested that.
Nope. I don't know what's going on. It's almost like Google and Gmail has changed recently, and even when you erase all kinds of stuff and free up that storage space, I'm not getting credit for it. I'm calling racket and scam. That's what I'm calling.
Something stinks in suburbia about this.
Yeah, tell me about it. We got some total stinkage going on. Hey, I saw this item yesterday, and I'm like, who is the imbecile that will wait 40 minutes for a cup of Starbucks?
Man, I don't understand the people that just even go to Starbucks. You can make it at home.
Starbucks customers
Look at it.
are waiting up to 40 minutes for coffee?
Wait, is this in the United States?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's in Singapore. No, of course it's in the United
no.
States.
Well, guess what? I was
What?
in Hong Kong, and I waited about an hour for Starbucks coffee.
You're a dummy. Why
Yeah,
would
well,
you?
I made Doug wait, but,
well, hold
you
on.
know.
Why would you wait an hour? When were you in Hong Kong?
2016 or 2016.
You waited an hour for a cup of coffee at a Starbucks?
It was crazy. Yes. It was like
Why?
a line that wrapped around the Starbucks building.
Why would you do that? My wife hates Starbucks. See, I'm not a coffee drinker, but Michelle says that Starbucks coffee tastes like it was in a warehouse fire.
Yeah.
That it's all burned.
The whole warehouse burned to the ground.
Exactly. And then they scraped up the beans and then they ground them
They
up.
blew
These
all
are
the ash-
wonderful.
They blew the ashes off the beans and then took them into
I don't
grind.
think I've ever had a Starbucks coffee.
Roxanne, you just dropped a couple of notches, but you waited an
Oh,
hour
no.
in a Starbucks
Okay,
line?
let me clarify. Doug waited in line for us, and he loves talking to strangers. So he talked to the strangers in line the whole time
In
and
Hong
entertained
Kong?
himself in Hong Kong. And they were asking him about America, and they were asking him about guns. And he was like, "Oh yeah, we all have 2 guns in America. We carry one on each
Rootin',
hip."
tootin',
Yeah,
cowboy.
yeah.
Boom, 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 boom.
He's like, "If this was America, I would just be like, give me my coffee now."
Oh my gosh, is he insane?
What, pull a
They
gun
get
on
arrested.
pull a gun on the Hong Kong Starbucks
He's- yeah.
barista? What do you call him? Barista.
Barista.
A barrister is a lawyer. A barista. See, I don't even know the terminology because I'm so like non-coffee. All right. So the reason why Starbucks customers here in the United States are waiting over 40 minutes in some places to get their coffee, and the reason why is Starbucks employees are claiming that they are understaffed, that there are severe understaffing issues at Starbucks around the United States. So the current baristas are overworked and they're having trouble keeping up. And you've got all these orders that are coming in through the mobile apps. You got the in-store pickups. You got the drive-through Starbucks locations. And now some people are waiting up to 40 minutes. Listen, you ought to have your head examined if you're waiting 40 minutes. Go to Dunkin' Donuts. That's Michelle's favorite coffee is Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah, but wouldn't staffing issues be similar there? I mean, if it's a staffing issue.
All I know is that a couple of times a week, sometimes it goes like 2 weeks. But Michelle, inevitably, I'm running errands and she'll buzz me up. Hey, can you pick me up a Dunkin' Donuts coffee on the way home? And I'm not in line for 40 minutes. I'm like, it's like 2 minute, 3 minute, 5 minute tops deal if they're busy. It's unbelievable. This is a crazy story. A kid was mowed over by a hit and run driver over in Jensen Beach. Oh, the kid's okay.
Wow.
Yeah, broken bones, head injury,
Jeez.
but the kid is going to fully recover. You got to hear this. This is an amazing story. This happened in Jensen Beach, which is on the other side of the state. It's in Martin County. Jensen Beach is north of Palm Beach County. So if you like Kravitz Center, downtown West Palm, about 40 miles.
Okay.
About 40 miles north up I-95 to Jensen Beach in Martin County. This is an insane story. Peter Bradford Swing, a 49-year-old putz, has been arrested allegedly mowing into a 15-year-old kid riding his bicycle in Jensen Beach, Florida. This was last week. And you're not going to believe how they found this guy. He left the scene. Can you imagine you hit a kid on a bike? It was late at night. It was 10:30 at night. I don't know why the kid was out at Wednesday night at 10:30 at 15 years old. I don't know if he had lights on his bike or if he had reflective clothing. Anyway, the kid was hit, and clearly the major problem is that this driver knowingly hit a bicyclist and then drove off. Hit and run. Do you know how they caught Peter Bradford Swing, 49 of Jensen Beach?
What, like a piece of his front light pop off and they could forensically tie it back to a car and then figure out all the cars in the area and then track them down?
Yeah, was there a piece of bicycle still stuck to the car?
Listen, pretty good guesses, CSI Miami guys. But no. In the accident, one of the kids' AirPods, his earbud, flew off, went through the window, and landed inside the guy's car, and they were able to track the kid's earbud, and that's how they tracked the guy down.
Wow.
Yes, wow.
That's probably how he got hit. He had the earbuds in and hear the car coming. Stupid.
This is nuts. So he fled the scene after injuring the kid, left the kid on the side of the road. The mother of the 15-year-old said the son had multiple broken bones, had a head injury. He was rushed to the hospital. He is expected to fully recover. So the good news is the kid was expected to fully recover. Listen to this. Sheriff of Martin County. When we have something as horrific as a human being hit, a 15-year-old boy, then the driver is just driving off, that's reprehensible. I concur, Sheriff. So the victim, his name, the 15-year-old, he hasn't been identified, supposed to recover, but he had no idea that he was going to be effective himself in trying to apprehend the perp, because one of the earbuds flew out, landed on the under the floor mat of the SUV. Yeah, this idiot that hit the kid on the bike was driving a silver Hyundai Santa Fe. And through the geo-tracking for the earbud, they found the vehicle. I mean, what better evidence of the car that hit the kid than you find his earbud that flew off his head out of his ear during the accident and went through the open window of this guy's car, and his earbud is inside the perp's car.
That's
amazing. We have to
amazing.
match this earwax to make sure it's the kid's
Yeah,
earwax.
a little DNA earwax as well.
Just to make sure.
We need the facts with the earwax.
So the cops arrived at this guy's home, Swings home. They found the silver Hyundai Santa Fe. They saw all kinds of damage on the right side of the vehicle, front end damage. Oh, the rear window's even smashed out. So the rear passenger window all smashed out, and he had put like a towel to cover up the window being smashed out in the rear.
That's a good look.
And the vehicle was not in plain sight. So this guy had tried to hide the vehicle behind his house. But guess what?
What?
You know what he said to cops?
What?
I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for that meddling earbud.
You know, that broken side window is probably how the earbud flew into the car.
Yeah, or he had, I think it was one of the floor mats, so maybe window was open as well, or it flew. That's a good point. Maybe the smashed window where the kid hit and smashed out the window, maybe the earbud fell in that way. You're right.
I'm no detective.
No, you're right.
You think they ever would have found the guy? They didn't have the earbud?
No, probably not. This guy would have sat on his car, probably would have taken it to a body shop in Tennessee or something.
I mean, with rainy season coming up, you would have gotten awfully tired of swapping out that towel.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So, I mean, what an unusual story. If found guilty, Mr. Hit and Run, Mr. Putz, faces up to 15 years in Florida State Prison, 15 years of probation after that, and a $10,000 fine, up to $10K. Yeah. He's 49 years old, and he told the sheriff's office over in Martin County that he fled because he was in a panic, because he had served time for drug charges in the past.
Yeah.
Guess what? You're going back to the big house there, pal.
That's where you're headed.
That's not a good reason.
What a stupid guy. I don't get that. Hey, I've got a question.
What is it?
I've got to post these pictures. I was watching TV, and I want you to tell me: am I just a prickly? Am I just a prickly individual?
I think we can answer that without hearing the anecdote.
Yeah. All right. Am I just too picky and prickly? All right. That's coming up in a minute because I need to post some pictures to go along with it. I saw something while watching a TV commercial, and it's a local TV commercial, and I'm sorry, this just really bothers me. Hold on, I'll explain in just a moment. First, though, the flight attendant story. I'm running a few minutes late on this. My apologies. But there is something that you should never do to a flight attendant. Don't do this. If I were just to go around the room, if just with this limited information, if I were to ask you, Fester, you, Roxanne, you, Froggy, this is a hot tip.
There's so many things I could think of.
You should never do this to a flight attendant.
I mean, it really runs the gamut of activities.
Now, if you're thinking about doing this, you don't do it during a certain time.
Mm-hmm.
You do it during this time. So if you wanna take the shot, don't do it here. You do it there.
Okay, I think you gave it away.
All right, did I give it away?
Yes, you did. I know what it is. Do you guys have any guesses?
How do you know?
Because I sent him the story.
Oh,
He probably had it
not
5 days ago,
fair.
but I sent it to him.
Okay, so I mean, what, you don't call the flight attendant toots? Right? 'Cause
That's your guess?
Well, that's one of my
something,
guesses.
Something you should not do to a flight attendant. Don't call her toots.
Take it from me.
That's your answer?
From firsthand experience, Southwest
No,
Airlines does
no,
not respond to toots.
No, it's not toots.
Hey,
Froggy,
toots!
Yes.
Over here.
Froggy,
Nothing.
you like to take a guess on this?
I would say, hit on them, Pat.
All right, can you say that so I can understand you?
I would say, hit on them, Pat.
Can you stop yelling?
Is Pat a
I
word
would
or
say-
is Pat the name of the host?
Hit on them, Pat.
What game show are you on?
Pat Sajak's my favorite host of every game show, so I'm always going to use him.
She's not an answer question.
He's on Wheel of Screaming.
I would say hit on them.
that is correct. Yeah, so it's,
Thanks, Pat.
all right. But there is a window. If you find the flight attendant attractive, there is a window. The story goes that you never hit on the flight attendant in flight because it's just awkward.
That's work mode for them, too.
Strange. They're working, and then I mean, it's just a weird situation that you could be stuck on this flight for hours. You make a pass at the flight attendant. You try to pick up the flight attendant. You try to, slip the flight attendant your phone number during the flight. No. A flight attendant is saying that if a passenger wants to try to make conversation to then further the possibility of a date, or if a passenger wants to hit on a flight attendant, do not, I repeat, do not do it on the flight. Never hit on the crew, and also never hit the crew. That's a federal offense.
Right.
All right?
Well.
Never hit the crew. If you want to hit on the crew, never do it during the flight.
What, do you wait at the gate for them to get off the plane?
Yes.
Walk through the airport.
Hey, no. You're close. If you want to take your shot, this flight attendant who gives advice, I guess she has a podcast, shoots videos, and it's called Wheels Up with Tyra. Tyra, the flight attendant, says that if you want to take your shot, you do it as you're getting off the plane. As you're exiting the aircraft, if you want to try to pick up the flight attendant, and I guess this would go for women that are attracted to a male flight attendant, but I'm thinking mostly the odds are that it's a guy that wants to hit on the female flight attendant. So you're not supposed to do it during the flight. It's weird. It's awkward. And you're supposed to wait until you're exiting the plane. They're standing there. They're greeting you on the way out. And that's where you take your shot. That's where you have a little note. Hey, I find you attractive or whatever. I'd love to get together. Here's my phone number. Call me. That's the way to do it. But, I see a little flaw in this because what if the flight attendant that you're attracted to is not up at the front of the plane? You've got flight attendants that are still in the back of the plane. You got usually, two at least that are sitting in the back working, the coach section of the aircraft. So
You hang out like a stalker and wait for her to get off?
You get back in a seat and just wait for Bales to leave.
I have no idea if we'll get calls on this, but we've had luck. When I ask for a pilot or flight attendants to call, A lot of times we can get calls. It all depends on the schedule, whether flight attendants are off right now and listening to us. Maybe there are some flight attendants that are headed to Tampa International right now to pick up their trips. If we have any flight attendants listening right now, what do you think of what we just said? And I'd love to know, have you ever been hit on? Have you been hit on during the flight? Or have you had a note passed to you as advised by Wheels Up with Tyra, the flight attendant, that someone should wait until they're exiting the aircraft to hand you a note? If you have anything to add to this, if you are a flight attendant, and I'll give it a couple of minutes, 800-990-1047. So if you're a flight attendant, give us a buzz. You can remain anonymous if you want. You don't have to mention your airline if you don't want. But I'd love to know if you have any firsthand experience. 800-990-1047. So if you're a flight attendant, love to get your take on this. We'll see if we can. This is very specific. So, hopefully we have some flight attendants that can call in now if they're listening. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. And if we have no flight attendants listening that want to call in, then we'll just move on. But I thought I'd give it a shot.
Am I wrong in thinking that a lot of these flight attendants are single or not married because they're in the air so much?
I don't know.
No, I think it varies.
I
think
don't
it
see.
varies.
I see a lot of them without rings. I notice sans.
Oh, do you
ring.
notice that?
Do you look?
I just look for. I just wonder.
I tell you what, I bet you that a lot of flight attendants don't wear rings because, they're serving drinks. They've got those drink carts. I'm thinking maybe a lot of flight attendants don't wear expensive rings and jewelry so they don't get snagged.
They could have fun on the road.
Oh, really?
I don't know.
That's why you don't wear a ring, right?
Mine hasn't come off. It can't. It's under the skin. It's actually attached.
Well,
I had it's sewed.
It's sewn on.
Froggy's ring is like the obese person that doesn't get off the couch for 3 years and gets melted into the couch. Yeah.
One time I was on a flight. I'm not a flight attendant, and I've never been a flight attendant, but I got hit on a plane.
Thanks for clarifying that. Thank you very much. Thanks for clarifying that.
I started kind of like friendly dating someone I met on a plane one time. I mean, this is years.
Well,
and
hold
years
on.
ago.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You friendly dated somebody? Andrew's screening some calls, so we'll see if we have a flight attendant calling in.
Friendly dating.
Friendly
please.
dating. I met this guy on a plane, and we were both going to Detroit. And then we exchanged. This is like back in the day when you exchange business cards. We exchanged business cards, and then I went to a party that night, and he was at that party. And then so I just kind of started friendly dating him. When he was in Tampa, we would go to dinner. If I was in New York, I would go to dinner. That was it. But I mean, I just randomly met him on a plane. But here's the thing: I'm telling this story now. I would never do that in today's day and age. I'd need a background check. But back then, you were just, oh, nice to meet you, stranger. Sure, I'll go to dinner with you. I didn't know, and I would only date someone if I knew their friends and had references.
How many times did you go out with this guy?
I don't know, 10.
What did he do?
Whoa.
Oh, what, 10?
It's a relationship.
But always out of town, or he came to Tampa 2 or 3 times.
Oh, so,
we just went to dinner. It wasn't
he was an out of towner?
That's how I met him. I met him on a
plane.
plane.
But
he lived in New York.
So when he would come to Tampa, and that happened 10 times?
No. One time I saw him in Miami and went to dinner with him. One time I saw him in two times in Tampa, and I was always bring girlfriends with me when I went to dinner in Tampa.
Did it go any further than just dinner?
No, it was just dinner, and like I said,
there was
friendly
never
dating.
not a nighttime kiss or anything, or.
What?
I mean,
Listen, people are asking these questions in their cars right now.
No, but it was friendly dating. It was friendly dating.
Well, my idea of friendly dating is getting it on. That's really friendly.
Okay.
I mean, unfriendly dating is taking you out to 10 meals and not rounding second.
Andrew.
Yeah, there's no rounding second.
Andrew's waving me off on the phone call. So, Andrew, who are the people that were calling in? What were they calling for if they weren't flight attendants?
Well, the one said that flight attendants pick up the front desk people at hotels.
Somebody called in to say that flight attendants pick up front desk clerks at hotels?
Yeah,
yes, if they find them attractive.
Yeah, I'm sure the flight attendant wants to bed the guy at the La Quinta. Yeah, I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah, where the crew's overnight. So they're checking in. The crews are doing their overnight at a hotel, and they're picking up the desk clerk? I don't know. I don't know about that. Anyway, it's luck of the draw. So sometimes we have flight attendants that are listening. They'll call in. Sometimes, obviously, not. I would like to refrain from commentary on this, and I would like to just ask my team. I'd like to ask Fester, Roxanne, and Froggy. Vanna White is still considering a potential Wheel of Fortune retirement. So we know that Pat Sajak. Hey, Andrew, give me the Wheel of Fortune music. Let me know when you have it. So Pat Sajak is retiring. So
Yes.
he's going to be done after this season.
Like next week, like June
Yeah.
6th or 7th.
I think that's the end of it. I think it's the end of the new shows. Then they'll go into repeats. And then in the fall, the new host, who is Ryan Seacrest, will take over Pat Sajak's place. And it has been expected that Vanna White will be there. And it'll be Ryan Seacrest and Vanna White. However, some stuff is bubbling up that Vanna White apparently is potentially mulling over a retirement as well.
It's kind of an awkward situation.
You know, it sort of is.
No, when I watch every night, and when Pat takes off, you know who hosts the show? Vanna White.
Does she?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Pat's daughter, the lovely Maggie Sajak, does the buttons or whatever.
It just touches the screen.
Yeah,
now.
and she's way better at it than Vanna.
Yeah.
Why not just bring her in, huh? How about that, team?
You know, it's
Out with the old and with the new.
you can't call her old.
No, I mean I don't mean her old. She's still
All right.
very attractive.
Vanna has signed the contract extension,
Vanna looks great.
which will keep her on the show through the 25-26 season. However, she could still decide to retire. But my question is, and again, I'm going to hold back my opinion just out of curiosity. Froggy, what comes to mind when you hear that Ryan Seacrest is going to be the new host of Wheel of Fortune?
I think of Pat Sajak just browbeating him during training. Damn you, Seacrest! That's not how you speak. That's not how you say that. Sorry about that, buddy.
Well, yeah, it's his own show. I mean,
No, I think it's going to
Ryan-
be awful.
yeah.
I don't like it. I'm a big fan.
All right, so you are not looking forward to Ryan Seacrest being the new host of Wheel of Fortune.
I think the Pat Sajak has a nice nostalgia thing about him. Wheel of Fortune has a nice nostalgia thing with him involved. I think with the Ryan Seacrest coming in, it's going to give it a new flavor, and I don't like new flavors.
Fester, what do you think about Ryan Seacrest taking over this gig of host of Wheel of Fortune? Your
It's
thoughts?
going to be great.
I think Ryan Seacrest is the luckiest, mildly talented person in the history of mankind.
No, that would be Vanna White.
You know what? She might be second. And she hasn't played her cards right all these years.
Yeah.
I mean, she's amassed a reasonable amount of money, but she
How
never.
do you know? You
the-
have
the story-
access to her
well,
brokerage
The
account?
story came out that she didn't ask for a raise since like the 90s.
Yeah.
Like she didn't negotiate
Oh,
tough with them.
That's pretty dumb.
Yeah, she wasn't, but then she had, I looked her up and she like has this, $15 million house in the Hollywood Hills.
All right.
So she's put herself together financially well, but like she's there was like a lot of angst when he first announced retirement. It's like, what about me? I think Ryan Seacrest, I think it's such a vanilla show. Who's going to miss Pat? Really?
It's like if MJ retires.
Yeah. And then Julian comes in.
Yeah. and
Roxanne.
takes over. Julian.
Roxanne, what are your thoughts on Ryan Seacrest becoming the new host of Wheel of Fortune?
I think as Ryan Seacrest ages, he'll just evolve into a Pat Sajak-like personality.
He's not going to, he doesn't do anything for more than like 2 years. He's not going to do it forever. Well, besides American Idol.
I said that I would hold back my
And a morning
opinion. Who said that he's the luckiest? Oh,
I
you
did.
said
That
that.
was-
Yeah. All right.
We know
Ryan-
your opinion. You're,
Ryan
you're
Seacrest
jealous.
is a talented guy who's the luckiest son
Are
of a
you
bitch.
eating again?
God, can you
Yes, he's
stop?
so
Stop.
sloshy.
Stop slush talking
So
and
gross.
eating on the show.
I didn't think you were coming to me so quickly. Sorry. This trail mix is so good. Oh my God. I can't get over the deliciousness of all these nuts in my mouth mixed with the chocolate. Anyway, Seacrest is the luckiest son of a bitch out there. He went on this flyer of a show. He wasn't even the original host by himself. He was partnered up with Dunkelman.
That's right, Dunkelman.
It was like
Yeah.
a wing and a prayer show. Isn't going to make it. Nobody knew. They put this new concept out there. American Idol takes off after the first year. Ryan's launched to the stratosphere. And now he's everywhere. He killed Dick Clark. And he does the New Year's Eve stuff. I mean, he's on the news shows.
Should we? You know what?
I mean, it's so much. And the thing about this job, MJ, do you know how much they work on Wheel of Fortune? They work 1 week a month.
Yeah, and then they tape like 5 shows a day or something.
Yeah, 5 shows a day for 4 days, Monday through Thursday, and that's it. Then the rest of the month the shows run, and I'll see you again on the 1st. And that's the schedule. So, you can do this for a week and still do your radio morning show and then still record your. Ryan Seacrest killed Casey Kasem, too. Took over his job. Ryan Seacrest is making.
You know what? He's like a parasite.
Seriously.
He's a predator.
He's a remora. He sucks you dry.
Ryan Seacrest is waiting for old legends to die.
He's a legend killer.
He's a tapeworm.
I'm not going to say anything. I have my opinions, but I said I'd leave it up to you guys. All right, so back to...
What are you, afraid of Seacrest coming after you?
I'm not afraid of
What a
Seacrest.
weenie.
I think Seacrest is the luckiest dude alive.
He really is.
Yeah, that I look at people in radio that are just far more talented,
Yeah.
Seacrest isn't untalented. I'm not saying that. He's not a hack, but he's a lucky son of a bitch.
All right, tell me if I'm just being a little too observant. Tell me if I'm being too prickly, if I'm too much of a stickler. I was watching TV and I was watching something streaming. I think I was watching some of the old Cops episodes on Pluto. And, with streaming, when they have commercials on these streaming services, they can target all these local spots. So they know your IP address and, they've got the algorithms and they'll target. It's like when you're on social media. When you're scrolling on Instagram, you get targeted. You can target specific demographics. You can target specific geographic areas, zip codes. So I'm watching and a commercial pops up for a local home builder, which I'm very aware of. I've seen their signs. They've seen homes they've built. This company's got a good reputation. And the home builder locally is Bayfair. And Bayfair Homes, they build a lot of homes in South Tampa.
Okay.
That's where I've been since 1994. I know South Tampa. I've seen plenty of Bayfair Homes and signs. Roxanne, you probably have heard of Bayfair Homes.
It sounds familiar to me.
Certainly,
I've seen signs for it around the
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they got just what I need.
So... No,
Wayfair.
that's it's Wayfair. No.
That's
I'm
where you
way
buy
off.
the
Furniture for your Bayfair home.
Wayfair probably has a deal with Bayfair.
No, so you're thinking of Wayfair. You got just what I need.
Build your home.
No, it's
Wayfair. We build houses too.
So what is interesting to me about Bayfair Homes? They're running a TV commercial that I'm seeing on some of the streaming that I'm watching. And they're talking about, South Tampa homes, building South Tampa homes for years and years. And they show this woman with 2 kids all smiling and happy, and they're making something in the kitchen. And am I the only one that noticed this? Behind the little boy on the wall is a European outlet.
Ooh, what an eye.
They're using stock footage in the commercial, and it's a European outlet. It's not even a U.S. outlet in the TV commercial.
You know what? I was going to call you a stickler, but I'm with you on that.
How the heck did you even notice
Yeah.
that, you insane person?
How did you find that?
Because I'm an insane person.
Maybe some houses in South Tampa enjoy having European outlets.
Yes. It's
I want the European outlets.
It's the 220 round, a 3-round prong European outlet option. If you
Yeah, and you know what else those homeowners do that drives you crazy? They eat continental style. They eat with their fork in the opposite hand that you hate.
Todd and Michelle, welcome to our new home built by Bayfair. You won't be able to plug any of your crap in. None of it.
So I
without an adapter.
I just posted still shots on my Instagram. If you want to see,
You have evidence.
I do. Go to my Instagram. So I took the pictures off the screen. I just snapped photos off my TV, and you can see the family. There are 3 pictures. Just slide them.
Wow.
I mean, look at this thing. So I saw the main shot.
What a lovely family.
And listen, it's a very attractive woman. She's got very nice looking kids.
I don't care about the kids.
They're making some recipe in what you're supposed to believe is a Bayfair home.
She has a big forehead.
But then look, you've got a European outlet, an electrical outlet behind them on the wall.
Fester, did you just say she has a big forehead?
She doesn't have a big
You know what
Also-
that means? She has a big brain.
No, I mean she has a receding hairline.
What are you saying? British people can't live in South Tampa?
I don't know that she's
but-
British.
But hang on a minute. But
Irish?
Also,
Maybe.
the voiceover lady on the commercial is also, it's a British voice.
Oh, they just went straight British with their.
Exactly. So the voiceover woman on the commercial is a British female voice. There's another one where it's a male British voice. So were these done in Europe, the commercials? But I'm just thinking that if you're gonna have, and listen, Bayfair makes a nice home. I've seen them around for years, but it just caught my attention that right behind them in the kitchen is a European outlet. All right, if you want to see my insanity, folks, and the fact that I guess I just see a lot of weird crap. It's just something I do. I just observe.
I'm not in your zip code. I don't see this commercial,
Yeah.
so I've never seen it.
Anyway, check out it's on my Instagram right now. Check out the image. Go to Certified MJ Radio. I haven't even done a caption yet. I literally just posted the images while we were talking. Go to Certified MJ Radio on Instagram and take a look at this supposed South Tampa home with European electrical plugs behind them on the wall. Froggy thinks I'm insane. Roxanne, you don't.
I would
No,
never
I'm
notice
actually.
that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I mean, I'm very surprised that you caught that, but I agree with you. That's egregious. Why are you going to buy that home?
Don, the IT guy, with my Gmail problem. This is going back a little over half an hour ago. If you're just tuning in, I've brought this up a couple of times already. I have emptied so much crap out of my Gmail account. I've erased over 4,000 emails, a lot with attachments. I have cleaned up knocking on 1,000 photos now, and my Gmail is still saying full, 15 gigabytes. I've done it for years, and I've always dropped down to like 12, 13, and I'll get like another year or so before I have to clean it up again. And for whatever reason, recently, I'm emptying tons of crap out of my Gmail Google account, but my storage is, in one case, I erased a crap load, and it went up. It went to like 15.02 or something. I mean, how does that happen? Gmail is screwing with me. So I don't.
Do you have a Google Drive too?
Yeah, well, that's part of my.
That's part
Yeah,
of it.
but
So maybe you've been.
No,
No?
I'm erasing all the photos on my Pixel phone, get backed up on the Google Drive. I've erased like 1,000 photos and even some long videos that chew up megabytes. I've erased tons of stuff. It's just bizarre. Anyway, Dom, the IT guy, just texted me, or he did a little while ago, and I just saw this. And Don says.
He says,
No, he says that I'm assuming that you emptied out your trash, junk, and sent folders. Yes, I have.
That's what you called in with, Don? Your
no.
empty trash folder?
I mean, Don. That's
No, come on.
basic
That's
BS right
valid. Yeah,
that
Don,
was my suggestion.
Don, I have. So
I mean, can we go deeper in the IT world?
I don't wait for the crap to be deleted after 30 days. When I delete stuff, I go into the trash folder and I dump it all out and I fully erase it to the point where it says there's nothing left here. So I've done this. Yes, Rox.
I've got to step out for just a moment. My kids are in studio with us, not in studio in the Q105 studio, but they're in the building today. And they're in the room next door to us.
Yeah.
I've got all their sleeping bags
Okay.
and their toys and their books and
Yeah,
everything.
We're a daycare
But-
center this morning.
We're
Hey.
going to be this summer.
Squeeze out these benefits. It's working out well, except for the fact that Pat George went in. He gave them this ginormous box of pictures to organize.
What?
And he's like
Pat?
photos.
Hold on. Our traffic guy is tasking your kids with work?
Wait, our
Yes.
traffic guy's giving your little kids photos?
Yes. So,
You may want to
so,
stop him now.
old radio photos of people at Disney World and stuff. So my kids work fast. So they stacked them all up. I saw them walk by here and they kind of motioned to me, we're done. And I said, go down to Pat's office. They haven't come back.
They're probably walking down 4th Street to McDonald's right now.
So I'm going to step
Yeah.
out for like 30 seconds. You guys have fun
Hold
and
on.
I'll
You're,
be back.
you're stepping out to find out what the hell happened to your kids?
Yeah, I mean, that was like 15 minutes ago. I'm like, all right, they should be
Yeah.
back by now.
I
So
saw him
I'm,
walk by.
I'm sure. Oh, you saw him walk back
No,
by?
I saw them walk out the first
Yeah.
time.
Pat probably said to your kids, come on down, kids. Come get a Werther's original.
Oh, Pat.
I got some melted ones here in my front pocket.
Oh, and Fester, what
do you all say?
Where do you
Fester.
keep your Werther's originals?
I just said, come on down for a Werther's original. That's all I'm saying.
Too far, man.
know that I'm a grandpa.
I'm also confused by something. Well, I shouldn't say confused. I'm perplexed. You know what? I'm curious. All of these artists or bands that are selling their music catalogs to like private equity or back to labels, some of these catalogs are going for enormous amounts of money. Fester, do me a favor.
Sure.
'Cause I have the latest here, but do a quick search of like a list of artists that have sold their music catalogs.
Oh, all of them have.
Type that in exactly. I know that, for instance, half of the Michael Jackson music catalog was sold recently for $600 million. Wow. Bob Dylan, by the way, Michelle hates Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
My lovely wife, she can't stand Bob
I
Dylan.
don't really get him either.
Bob Dylan to her is like an ice pick or an awl being jammed into your eardrum.
We are the world.
So Bob Dylan, he sold his catalog back in 2022 to Sony, and that was worth about $200 million.
Jeez.
There is an enormous list of these celebrities that have sold their catalogs. Professor, is this the latest list?
This is a big list. It starts with Bob Dylan, but it goes down.
All right, Stevie Nicks sold the majority stake in her songs to Primary Wave for $100 million. I wonder if that included "You Can Talk to Me."
Okay, it didn't, but
You
it did.
can talk to me.
It did include all of her nose cartilage.
I got it.
That is a very underrated song. Stevie Nicks has talked to me.
And an underrated joke
So my
about
joke, my nose cartilage joke, Stevie Nicks' nose
yeah,
cartilage.
we know
jokes?
she did a lot of coke and she burned away her nose
I'm not
cartilage.
entertaining you. I'm entertaining the
Yeah,
people.
she doesn't have separation in the tunnel tube.
No.
It's like all lanes are right
She
there.
could put her
Yeah.
pinky to it.
Imagine Dragons.
Why would they sell so early?
They sold everything they've done up until now for $100 million.
That's why.
What?
Whitney
could've got
Houston.
more.
Whitney Houston's catalog was sold after her death, price undisclosed. Blondie sold her catalog, price undisclosed.
Oh, come on, Blondie.
Barry Manilow sold. I mean, I can go down the list here.
A bunch of people you've heard of that you know.
Neil Young sold 50% of his catalog for $150 million. I mean, the list is enormous. My question is, when they're paying $500-600 million, how are they recovering? How are they making all that money? I realize that it's the licensing fees, it's the radio stations around the world that play the music, licensing songs for commercial use. I get it. There is money to be had. But when you hear about deals of $200, $300, $400, $500, $600 million, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is Sony Music. This is the latest. This is the breaking news. Breaking music news on the MJ Morning Show. Sony is reportedly in talks to buy the Queen catalog for $1 billion.
Oh man.
$1 billion. Listen, Queen is phenomenal. I was a huge Freddie Mercury fan, one of the best voices ever of a male recording artist. Amazingly talented. Queen, certainly one of my favorite bands. But
One of your favorite bands, huh?
$1 billion. How the hell do you $1 billion for the Queen catalog?
Just Wayne's World reruns.
So, I mean,
Little silhouette of a man. $1 billion. $1 billion. I mean, that's a lot of money. Yes, Fester.
how much money do you think Queen make? I mean, I have no idea. I couldn't even put a number on it, but like just in royalties of their music.
That's what I'm saying. It's significant,
If
but
it's $20 million a year, that's 2% on $1 billion. That's not a great return.
well, that's the point. What do they make per year in, again, licensing fees and royalties for airplay?
Do you have Disney Plus
I do not,
right now?
but I got Killer Queen.
She's a killer queen, got bad
Yes.
So they have on Disney Plus, and I just watched it the other day, Queen in 1981 in Montreal.
Did they do this? You don't like that?
No, I'm just saying that they can make a lot of money. I've heard my best friend is in commercials, movies.
I've heard Mr. Fahrenheit in more commercials in the last 2 or 3 years.
What?
Stop me now. I'm having such a good time. I'm having, their stuff's getting licensed.
I'm not doubting that, but can you get a return if you spend $1 billion buying the rights to the Queen catalog?
I mean, you own it forever.
Championship, they play that. We Are the Champions.
What are the champions? We'll rock you.
We Are the Champions is played at every game.
I'm not familiar with that song. What is it?
We Are the
What is that song called?
Champions.
So when people win something, they play some song by Queen. We Are the what?
Champion?
I don't know if I heard that one before.
Maybe.
Seriously, I mean, the next time they drop a rock jock CD, Queen's going to be loaded.
Yeah, here's We Are the Champions. We are the champions. All right, speaking of me being a stickler, Andrew, why are all these clips in deadpan mono and not in stereo?
I didn't realize when I was rolling them off, the board was set up in mono.
Oh, son of a bitch. Really?
I never have it in mono, and somebody used the studio.
You just ruined that whole segment, bro.
It's not him.
Well,
No, it's Andrew's fault. Andrew, get in here and take your 10 lashes like that Singapore cane.
I don't know.
Switch the switches.
I
It
don't
is
know.
my fault because I didn't look.
So a plane crashes and the pilot didn't check the switches in the pre-flight checklist.
I don't
so
know
it's,
what
it's
time.
not the pilot's fault
I
that
don't know
someone
what-
touched the switches.
I don't know what time frame you gave him. If you're like, get this done now, and he goes in and does it and sends it to you, and the switches have been switched, then,
Did any of our listeners notice that all these little Queen clips are in mono and not in
Nobody
stereo?
on Earth except Phil Spector noticed.
And me.
Phil Spector shot somebody over.
I mean, come on.
And my hair sometimes looks like Phil
A little
Spector's.
bit.
So
And you're about the same height.
So does this mean it's playing out of one side of the car? I mean, what does it mean?
No. It means it's coming
It's
out of both
not
speakers. It's
bright.
not broad. It's not in stereo. These clips are all in mono, which is very
Fisher doesn't know
disappointing.
what mono means
You know what?
after 30 years in a
Dude, I had mono 3 times. I know exactly what mono is. It's the kissing disease.
Fester has no idea how
No clue.
anything works in radio.
I have no. I can turn my mic on, turn my mic off,
Can
tell
you?
the
Can
jokes,
you
and
though?
leave.
I'm actually surprised you're talking in the right end of the microphone right now.
He has talked in the back before.
This is how I sound from the other end of the microphone. Listen, guys. Just turn the mic on, tell the jokes, and go home.
This is one of my favorite songs, actually, by Queen.
Catalogs than like some of these bands we've listed.
Yeah, you're probably right. So Queen could be selling their music catalog to Sony for $1 billion. That, I think, would be the biggest deal ever. I don't think there have been any deals that have approached $1 billion. Michael Jackson was $600 million, and that might be the top deal to this point. But Queen, $1 billion?
Can we
They
look
split
up?
it 3 ways.
Can we look up Weird Al Yankovic?
All right, so hold on.
Catalog.
According to the Google,
Yeah.
right? According
Yeah.
to which I, put that much faith into what they say. An
Right.
article from 2 months ago, Queen's annual royalties are about $50 million. So if you pay him $1 billion and you get at least a 5% return,
What's your 5-year plan on this deal?
I mean, in 5 years, you make a quarter of your investment back. I mean,
Listen, again,
Yeah.
I don't know.
and you own it forever.
I don't know the economics. Listen, if someone's going to pay $1 billion, Sony is not dumb.
They've done their due diligence.
They must know the economics work. It's staggering. Chloe just texted me, what the F is mono?
Thank you, Chloe.
Really?
It's the
Thanks.
last half of my last name.
Really?
I got it.
Hey, you're telling me, Chloe...
Maybe she thinks it's hand-to-hand combat, mano-y-mano.
Chloe doesn't know the difference. Folks, I wonder how many of our listeners know the difference between mono
And stereo.
and stereo.
We're really good.
Hello?
Chloe, you don't know what mono versus stereo is?
Shut up about the mono.
Thank you.
Is that, do you have the disease?
Thank you, Chloe. I knew she would think it was the kissing disease
See,
because she's heard.
See, MJ's thinking just because you have his DNA that his radio DNA like automatically wired your brain to understand what mono is.
Chloe, how many of your friends at UNH had mono?
Oh my gosh, so many.
So, Chloe, and I'm moving on now, folks, but let me just explain. Chloe, mono is non-stereo. It's when the sound is very narrow. Stereo is when the music, it broadens out and you have that spatial sound. That's stereo, whereas mono does not have that.
Okay, I don't really know what you just said.
All right,
and
I'll tell you.
for the rest of my
I'll
life.
give you a
All right,
lesson.
you know
Not
what?
knowing that.
I'm later tonight. You'll come into my studio at the
Oh
house.
God.
I'm gonna put music. I'll put a song on, and I'm gonna put the headphones on you in my studio at home. You'll have my Cost Pro 4 AA's on your head.
Break your neck.
I will play a song, and I can switch the headphone monitor from stereo to mono, and you'll absolutely hear the difference. Are you looking forward to this?
No, I think that's the time I'll conveniently go for my 5-mile walk.
All right, goodbye.
for you, kid.
Goodbye. Jeez, man. You know what? At
Mono.
least some of my technical
Nerds.
has worn off on Julian. At least
There you go.
some of that rubbed off is what I should
The
say.
kid will never catch mono.
What time is it? 8:27 at the
Oh,
end.
I did find my kids, by the way, down the
I'm,
hall.
I'm happy to
Where
hear
were
that.
Yeah, so this is funny. I
Yeah.
brought them in here today with, I have their coloring books, their workbooks. You saw Fester. She was doing her
doing
workbook.
work. Yeah, doing good.
And I have like a schedule for them. Every 20 minutes, they have a different activity they have to do. Everything is set up in that little playroom next door.
Jeez.
And what does Pat do? He grabs them, takes them down the hall. They've been watching monkeys pump gas. I
That's
walk in
awesome.
I walk in the room.
What?
They're watching YouTube videos of monkeys pumping gas.
Pat, our traffic guy, is showing your kids monkeys pumping gas
That's what
at
they
a
were
gas
watching.
station.
I hear like laughter as I'm walking down the hall, and that's what it is. And so I don't think I'm going to get them out of that room to do their morning work.
Your
And
mom's making them do boring ass schoolwork, and Uncle Pat's showing them monkeys
Hey,
pumping gas.
Guys, I've got a crime alert here on the MJ Morning Show. Do you remember a creepy story that I told on the show within the last couple of weeks about a hidden camera?
The airplane.
Nope. But that is a story.
Oh.
We've talked about that a couple of times,
It's-
especially since American Airlines having that law firm that suggested that the 9-year-old should have known that a creepy flight attendant, a guy, hid a camera in the lab. No, not that one. Another creepy camera story was
it was mother-daughter Airbnb.
nope.
Wow, we do more camera stories than
Yeah.
I thought.
Do you remember the story I
the
told you?
immigration officer?
Nope. A family noticed that somebody in the neighborhood had aimed a camera toward their house.
Yeah, that one. But we did all those others.
Right, yes, we did. But the one I'm thinking about is we had a story recently that a camera was discovered hidden in like a little grassy median strip inside a neighborhood. So you got homes across the street, and then there's like a grassy median that has some trees in it, and somebody had hidden a camera. This is not in California, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody had a cellular operated wireless battery operated camera that was aimed toward somebody's house. And we were trying to figure out, what was this about? Was this a stalking deal? What's going on here? Well, guess what? More stories are coming out about burglar gangs from South America. And we got to be careful about this. And this is not like urban legend, but there have been numerous gangs, South American gangs. There have been Central American gangs that are targeting businesses and individuals here in the United States, that they're robbing houses, they are burglarizing businesses. So I've known about these marauding gangs of foreigners that are coming to the United States and wreaking havoc. It's been happening for a while. But here's the deal. A warning has gone out from the LAPD, this is the Los Angeles Police Department, that burglars from South America are placing hidden cameras in neighborhoods to watch the houses to find the patterns of when the people leave in order to then break in and strike and rip off their valuables, jewelry, cash, whatever. So police out in L.A. are warning residents about hidden cameras placed in neighborhoods that are helping burglars plot their crime. Cops are saying that the burglars are planting these cameras so they can time when the home is going to be unoccupied, because they see those come and go. They get an idea of who's in the home. If they see a mother, they see a father, they see two kids, and then You build up the intelligence. You have the camera. You get the patterns. You know when everyone's gone. And then that's when they break into the home. So this is another devious, horrific, terrible example of people trying to rip you off. I mean, there are bad, bad folks out there.
A triple adjective on that boy. Yeah.
What?
No,
I don't know.
What are you saying?
triple, devious, horrific. What was the other one?
All right.
Bad.
We focus on the story.
Well, I mean, yeah, but then you tripled it.
A camera wrapped in leaves was discovered, blended in with shrubbery. Another one found in a flower bed. A resident turned the camera in and a battery pack to the L.A. County Sheriff's Office. The L.A. County Sheriff's Office, also LAPD, they're putting out special bulletins telling residents to be very vigilant about surveillance devices hidden in natural surroundings, monitoring your home to give burglars the intel they need to break in while you're not home. So if this is happening in Los Angeles right now, trust me, this is happening in many other places around the country. I've heard about these gangs. Gangs from Central America, gangs from South America are committing all kinds of burglary and crimes here in the United States. That's real. This is not urban legend stuff. Out in L.A., they believe that these criminals are from Chile and Colombia, and they come to the United States on tourist visas. Yeah, they're not tourists. They're burglars. So they come to this country posing as tourists. They get a visa, but they're really on burglary tourism is what they're doing. How foul is that?
It's horrific.
Speaking of LA burglaries, you hear about this NBA player who's playing a basketball game last week and 3 people break into his house while he's on the court.
They probably had a camera. They knew what he was, or they could just turn on
How about
TNT.
just a
They know-
schedule?
yeah, exactly. They just have it. Exactly.
The Clippers are playing today at 2. He
And
won't be
Google.
there.
They're playing in Indianapolis or wherever. That's what they steal from his home.
That's not cool.
Sneakers.
Hey, listen, his home could have been under surveillance, or they just looked at the NBA schedule or turned on TNT to see what the heck's going on. We have an update on the story about the Olympic beds being made uncomfortable so the athletes won't have a lot of sex at the Olympics in Paris this summer.
Well, are they also like making the rooms without floors and walls because they can find other places to do it than the bed? They're
Yeah,
athletes.
I find this story ridiculous. A story came out a couple of weeks back that the beds in the Olympic Village have been designed to dissuade people from having sex. And the latest now is the designer reveals that the mattresses are very sturdy and that, yes, they're not going to prevent people from having sex. I don't understand this.
Yeah, I mean, if something isn't good for having sex, it's probably not good for sleeping
All right,
either. What does it have, sand spurs in the bed?
Hold on. These are beds. These are flat beds.
Yeah.
They're not particularly wide, but people have sex in the back seat of cars. People have sex in airplane bathrooms. So this is a bed that lies flat. And where did this story even originate? The anti-sex beds at the Olympic Villages in Paris for the Summer Games. Where did this story even originate from?
It probably came from some clickbait editor's desk who looks at these beds and say, because the rumor, the stories of the Olympic Villages is just one big fest of.
Are you rambling? What are you saying?
No, because listen, when you think of the Olympic Village, what do you think? Right. What happens in the Olympic Village is a lot of commingling of countries, right?
All right, let me.
And some clickbait editor at some desk is like, it's the anti-Olympic sex desk.
All right,
That's where.
Let me read some of the details here. Athletes hoping to get frisky during the upcoming Olympic Games in Paris appeared to have had their dreams dashed after organizers announced they were ordering the same anti-sex beds that were used at the 2020 Tokyo Games.
Who did the anti-sex bed? Listen, plenty of Olympians did it. The Olympics aren't coming out with
Hold
this
on.
is the
I don't
anti-bleeping bed.
I don't think a lot of people had sex at the 2020 Tokyo Games because that was like COVID.
COVID year.
Listen,
Yeah.
ain't stopping them.
All right, anyway, another 16,000 modular mattresses made by a Japanese company called Airweave have been sent to Paris, to the city of love, oui, oui, ahead of the July 26th opening ceremonies for the Olympics. Oh, yeah. We need lyrics for this. Something no sex in the beds.
Will they place hypodermic needles all over the bed?
No. I mean, and what's going to stop you? Like, well, hello there, sexy gymnast. I'm very attracted to you, but this bed is a turnoff, so I'll pass.
Here's the deal. Apparently, the bed will collapse under the weight of two people.
Oh, you just put it on the floor.
That's
Going to stop me.
That's the story, that these are twin-size mattresses, and they're made of polyethylene, and they're set up on cardboard bed frames.
And they just evaporate once you have sex.
And apparently, if you're pounded, if you're going to town, the thing collapses.
Hilarious, actually.
Anti-sex bed.
It should shoot you up into the ceiling.
Those athletes will be like, it's a challenge for them.
Come on, it'd be. You know what? It's like Jenga sex. Try to figure out how to pull the things out without having the tower come down. Try to figure out how to bang it up good without having the bed frame collapse.
Listen, man,
Pull the things out is right.
You give me a night with a female shot putter from Germany. Oh, man.
You don't care what you're lying
I
on.
don't care. I'll go right down the floor.
Helga, look into the bed.
Anyway.
They showed them, those Olympic regulators. Yeah.
Hang on a minute. I think I've got some lyrics here for the anti-sex beds.
Don't we have audio of the bed creaking and smashing?
Yeah.
No sex at the Olympics in Paris this summer.
You got to get
Look at
the
that.
creaking floor collapsing sound.
We used to. Hey, Andrew, do we have the bed? I used to have great bed springs.
Bed springs and
Yeah, that's probably on my hard drive. Yeah, so we used to have great bed springs, and then the floor collapsing sound
Yes,
effects.
that
You know,
would
the wooden beams creaking and then collapsing.
Oh, man.
and then maybe some moaning from the movie.
Dude, I am
When
looking at
Harry Met
the
Sally.
female shot putting finals from the 2020 Tokyo Olympics.
Those hands will get you.
Every one of these ones can. Oh, man, this is my zone.
Hey, speaking of sex, I saw an item last night that seniors in nursing homes should have sex if they want to, according to researchers.
With whom?
I'm thinking this is a great dueling opportunity for Don Stanley and Milton Fludgecow.
What?
Hold on now.
Don Stanley, your old man character.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go. You could do it.
Yes.
So new research suggests that older people should be encouraged to have sex. This is a university study, University of Sheffield, and they're suggesting that if senior citizens in nursing homes want to go to it, they should be allowed to go to it. But, be careful. I mean, because look at the seniors up in the villages, man. The rates of STDs are through the freaking roof.
What do they care?
Stick with your partner.
Listen, please tell me I have herpes when I'm 85.
Yeah,
right. I would love nothing more to get herpes in my 80s.
All right, really?
Guess what? I'm going to be in my 90s, dead. Okay, who cares?
I just talked to Blanche, and she said we can give her the old Eiffel Tower. Me and you.
Let's go. Me, Don, and Blanche.
A lot of times they say that, like, if you do it a lot, it's the fountain of youth.
How about a lap dance for the old man, Gertrude? Damn. Oh, the pens are nice.
Roxanne, are you aware of something called Golden Goose shoes?
No, I'm not. Tell me all about them.
I need to know. I need to hear from our listeners. Are any of our listeners owners of Golden Goose shoes?
Oh, they're the sneakers. I've seen these. Yeah, I've seen them.
What's
I don't
so
know
special
any.
about them?
These are the sneakers that are made to look old and worn and tattered,
Yeah.
and people are paying from $565 up to $2,400
Oh my God.
for a pair of sneakers that are made to look old and used and grimed up and scuffed and dirty.
Why don't you just wear your scuffed up, dirty ones that you
Hello,
already have?
hello.
These look like a pair of Converse you've owned for like 6 months.
Well, more than that.
Yeah.
$565. All right, I got to know. Are there any listeners out there that have Golden Goose shoes? Cost as much as the damn Golden Goose. Daddy.
Welcome to the Golden Goose.
I want a Golden Goose. Hey, Wonka, how much for the Golden Goose shoes?
They're free because I like you.
I got to know. If anyone listening has Golden Goose, if you've got kids that have Golden Goose or whatever.
Dumb name for a shoe, right?
You know, 800-990-1047 gets you on. 800-990-1047. And it's Generation Z. Generation Z are the ones that apparently are all honed and zoned in on these Golden Goose shoes. And the story says that the younger generation, Gen Z, that they have their sights set on these shoes, and they are designed, they're made to look old and scuffed and dirty, and for that, you pay the starting price of $565, and the prices on their website go up to $2,350.
Oh, wow. They have a kids collection,
I mean,
men's, women's.
The crap that people buy. I mean, some of these look like they're 4 years old and they've been, walked through a swamp.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be $900 for the privilege of wearing these old. Go to the Salvation Army.
These are thrift store finds. Yes, you are right.
I mean,
I don't understand fashion.
We need to just go buy shoes, just
fake duty shoes.
at like Goodwill, Salvation Army, and then just slap some brand name on these things and sell them for a fortune.
The
think
dog
that's what
duties.
Yeah.
Froggy, you're onto something. MJ, listen. We buy a whole bunch of Bobo sneakers. You know what
Yeah.
I'm talking about? Those no
Yeah,
names,
yeah, yeah.
right? We put like brown plastic on
So
the
you
bottom.
go get like the generic, like
generic.
the like Walmart, Target,
Cheapest
just
ones we could find.
junk.
But you like splatter
Brown paint.
all over the bottom and like the toe. So we call them the dog poops.
Well, you could have a whole line. You could have like, hey, just left a rave, and you could have stepped in vomit.
Oh, the vomit line.
What?
Yes.
Yeah,
Vomit sneakers.
vomit sneakers.
They're like off-white.
Yes.
Like you puked on them at
Yes.
a club.
Exactly.
Now we're thinking this is a good. We're doing spitballing here.
What are we doing here on the radio? We should be doing
Right?
shoes.
Marketing.
What's the matter with you guys? Andrew's not getting any call. Maybe we have no listeners that have the Golden Goose sneakers. I'll try one more time. Does anyone listening have Golden Goose sneakers made to look old and used, starting at $565 a pair and going up to nearly $2,400 a pair? Anyone listening? 800-990-1047. That's 800-990-1047. All right, let me know if anyone
All right.
buzzes in.
I haven't found the $2,000 pair, but I have found the $1,850 pair
my
with
God.
bedazzled Swarovski crystals on the back.
Ugh,
They don't even look good. They look like barnacles.
these are hideous.
Yeah.
Anyway, all right, moving along. I have an email from a very proud mom. I don't know if this is going to be greeted with, oh, that's so sweet, or, Mom, you're embarrassing me on the radio. I got an email from Wendy. Wendy in Tampa. Wendy sends me a note. Hi, MJ. My daughter, Brittany Caruana, is a deputy with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, and she returned to work this week after giving birth to her son. It'd be so kind to welcome her back on the air. That would be awesome. So, welcome back. Great deputies with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. And congratulations on the baby. Deputy Brittany Caruana, your mother has emailed me. That's great. Isn't that that's a lovely story.
Welcome back.
Yeah, so we want to welcome back Brittany Caruana. to the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office after time off of maternity leave and giving birth to her new baby, giving birth to a son. So congratulations on the kid. And if you know Brittany Caruana, Deputy Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office, welcome her back and congratulations. And you've got a nice mother that cares. But, when we were kids, it'd be like, Mom, stop embarrassing me. Stop, Mom, stop it. Stop embarrassing me. Wait a minute. We have calls coming in on these ridiculously priced used-looking shoes. Let me go to the screener. Mike in St. Pete. Mike, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning, MJ guys. How are you?
Doing well. What's the story?
You dragged it out of me, man. I'm driving here to work, and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to call. So I got a pair of these shoes that my wife talked about. She's the one that introduced me to them, and I collect some kind of sneakers, not all. I don't.
Wait, all right, so wait a minute. You have the Golden Goose sneakers?
Yes, in a size 11, and I'm a 14.
Wait a minute. You have size 11, but you wear a 14?
That is correct.
He's a collector.
You're not. You can't get the 14. You can't get the 11s on your feet, right?
Correct. I haven't even seen them in a 14, so I think they might make them only up to a 12. I think from what I've been seeing.
So you bought these just as a collector?
I didn't buy them. I got them kind of in a deal.
I got them in a deal.
I didn't get swindled on them. As I knew what they were because I had a pair of bathing apes, and those are from Japan, and those are about $400 or $500, and that was.
Let me ask you a question. So, Mike, are you the kind of guy that you go to these stores with all the aftermarket shoes that are wrapped in plastic so they don't get dirty when people look at them?
No, I'm the guy that goes to buy G.I. Joe's carded at Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
Toy-Con.
How much did you pay, or I don't know if it was a cash deal, how much did you pay for these Golden Goose shoes?
I ended up trading them for some carded comic books that I had.
Oh, man.
I want to say that I had value, probably at about maybe $300 or $400. And I looked up the sneakers, and you're right. Those sneakers were like $1,300. So
yeah, they're ridiculous.
I ended up doing the deal. Yeah, I ended up doing the deal.
All right.
I don't care for them because they look like a pair of old Converses.
Yeah, that's what they look like, old, slimy, grimy, nasty Converses. Mike, thanks for the call. There was an anonymous call on line 5 that hung up. Andrew, what did that call want? What were they going to say?
I didn't have the details. She worked for a company that sold the shoes, but she had a story to tell.
Well, she hung up.
Okay. Well,
you had a story to tell. Hey, anonymous, call back. I want to hear your story. Hey, I've got a funny story. Before we wrap up the hour and 20 minutes plus of nonstop MJ, this guy is a dumbass. This dude on a suspended license makes an appearance via Zoom before a judge. And this is insane. This is Michigan. A Michigan judge was dumbfounded. A guy that was busted for driving with a suspended license appeared before the court on Zoom while behind the wheel of a car driving.
Wait, what?
Yeah, what? Exactly. You heard me.
I read this story. This is hilarious.
You heard, yes, Andrew.
Yeah, this audio, there is a lot of silence that was removed, as the judge sat there dumbfounded.
This is, so to make it, more palatable to play on the air, you got to hear this. Corey Harris, 44 years old, pops up on the screen while driving before Washtenaw County Judge J. Cedric Simpson, and the judge is like, what? You're driving right now? Listen to this. This audio is unbelievable.
Court calls case People versus Corey Harris.
On behalf of Pittsfield Township.
Assistant Public Defender Natalie Tate for Mr. Harris, who should be present via Zoom.
Mr. Harris, are you driving?
Actually, I'm pulling into my doctor's office, actually. So just give me 1 second. I'm parking right now.
You stationary?
I'm pulling in right now at this second. Yes, I am.
All right. What are we doing?
Your Honor, we are respectfully requesting an adjournment in this matter, up possibly 2 to 4 weeks if the court would allow.
Okay. So maybe I don't understand something. This is a driving while license suspended,
That is correct, Your Honor.
and he was just driving, and he didn't have a license. Oh.
Is with the charges, Your Honor, yes.
No, I'm looking at his
Yes.
record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washington County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris, I'll be giving you a call.
Okay.
Do you hear him go, oh my God?
Yeah, so you can see the guy's lips moving, like he's mouthing the "oh my God" part.
You got to see the judge is bewildered. You got to see his face. Then the dude, Corey Harris, in his car, you got to see this guy's face. What kind of an imbecile do you have to be to show up on Zoom before a judge for a hearing with a suspended license? What kind of a bonehead do you have to be to do this?
Just report to jail immediately.
That judge is great. He has a great chance. He's on a lot of like viral videos.
Is he?
man.
Yeah, he's
Is
good.
he? I've never seen him.
I've seen him a bunch.
The Honorable J. Cedric Simpson seems like a pretty cool judge. The video is up. Folks, you just heard the audio. You got to see the split screen video. We'll have it up in just a minute. Give Andrew like 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, the video link to see what we just played, to actually see the visual, it'll be up on mjmorningshow.com. That's mjmorningshow.com. And it'll be on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. So you just go to mjmorningshow.com. Right near the top, you'll see the picture of the whole crew, and it'll say As Heard on the MJ Morning Show. Click on that in about 5 minutes, and the link will be there for you to watch that video. And Judge is stupefied.
I mean,
Like,
I'm sure.
you hear him say, what is going on here? It's just, are you driving
Yeah, if
right
you
now?
Type in, just go to YouTube, type in Judge Simpson. Like all these videos come up. This guy.
That is unbelievable. We played a little bit of this yesterday, but then an F-bomb popped up and I had to dump it. So,
the J-Lo
Yeah,
stuff?
let's listen again.
When we get back, audio has leaked of J-Lo in the studio with awful vocals. Yeah, there's a J-Lo leak. So we'll get to that coming up next. And we got a lot in the next segment. We got a giant chunk of the MJ Morning Show in minutes. Whatever you do, don't move. Veterans Ford has some great deals for... It is the MJ Morning Show on Q105 at 9:04. Andrew, can you reset that for me, please? Can you hit a reset? Thank you very much. All right, so I just ran into Roxanne's kids in the hallway.
Yes, they are here today.
They are unattended. They're running around like banshees.
They own the place.
Yeah, Roxanne's doing something in a production room. The kids are running up and down the hall. And I said to the kids, so Roxanne's kids are what, 4 and 7, right?
That sounds right.
Yeah, and I said, hey, did mommy show you the video of the kid running rampant, running away from the Spirit Airlines employees? You know, I said to the kids, you know that Uncle MJ here has a viral video on Instagram right now that is inducing all kinds of comments. And Roxanne is now back in the studio. How did you not show your kids the video of a kid their age running away from the Spirit Airlines employees as an unaccompanied minor on an arriving flight from Fort Lauderdale on Sunday morning?
Because I try to keep phones out of their hands. I try to keep them off the internet.
You could show them. So I saw the kids in the hall. I'm like, hey, kids, did mom show you the...
Get away, stranger danger.
MJ, stranger danger. So I said, hey, kids, did mom show you the video of the little boy at the airport running circles around the Spirit flight attendant and gate agents? And no. I'm like, Roxanne, why would you show them that? It's a kid their age.
Okay, well, as soon as I walked out of the studio, they said, MJ said to show us the video. So I showed them, and they love seeing people get in trouble. So they were like, is he in trouble? Is he in trouble?
Yeah,
they
he's
love
probably
misbehavior.
not in
No, he's not.
This is insane. The video now has 316,000 views.
I'm telling you, at this clip
on Instagram,
you're looking at like maybe 500,000 views.
I think it's going to slow down. But you know what's also remarkable is there are almost 2,000 likes, and there are 813 comments. And you got to go through the comments. The comments are unbelievable. So if I look at the comments, let me go back here and look at my, how do I get there? Here, click on the heart. You know, here is Ollie.payola.nicole. Why the bleep would the parents let him be alone with the employee? Listen to my mom let us travel unaccompanied when we were 5 or 6, only because we were more capable of behaving and following directions. I mean, you ought to see the people that are debating, the comments that are being left. If you have not seen these two videos, one has the 316,000 views, and then the part 2 has 44,700 views.
You know, one of the comments is Dr. Drew 22.
Yeah.
And he says, that's exactly why I won't let my daughter fly unaccompanied. I trust her, but I don't trust them. And then the 117 replies saying, what, is your kid a undisciplined wild child?
It's crazy.
Well? They're fighting within the comments.
Yeah, the debate among the messages on this video, it's like I spent an hour just reading the comments yesterday. All right, if you haven't seen the video, it happened Sunday morning. I was flying Spirit Airlines for the very first time ever. Also, the video that I shot in the airplane and then walking down the aisle and then talking to my followers in the bathroom, in the lavatory, that's got 64,500 views of me inside the bathroom on the Spirit Airbus. So the videos, take a look at the videos. The videos are on my Instagram account, Certified MJ Radio. That's Certified MJ Radio.
Wow.
And it's just quite a debate. And the video has gone, part 1 has gone viral with over 316,000 views right now in a couple of days.
I'm just saying, this quick trip to visit the folks turned out to be the best thing to ever happen to your social media.
Yeah, see what happens when you visit your parents? Good stuff happens.
Or
for
fly
you.
Spirit Airlines. You get all kinds of crazy content with the Spirit clientele.
I see a future relationship with you and Spirit, whether it's you flying a lot more for content.
I got to be honest. I was reluctant. I was apprehensive. I had a pretty good experience on Spirit Airlines. Plus, it provided with viral show content. I've got the most video views by far ever with a single video on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. And I've picked up hundreds of followers. People from around the world that have, don't even know who I am are following me because of the video that I shot, and clearly they scrolled through the rest of my feed to see that, hey, this guy's pretty entertaining. So
That's what they said.
Hey, this guy's
guy
pretty
here.
entertaining. Hey.
So if you haven't seen the videos, go to my Instagram, Certified MJ Radio, and give me a follow if you don't, Certified MJ Radio. The J-Lo audio, get to that in a second. First, though, I missed something on yesterday's show. We unboxed the T-shirts that a local restaurant sent.
Yes.
The restaurant named Beef and Sea in Riverview in Hillsborough County. They know that I like whole belly clams, and they have the Ipswich whole bellies that are fried, because I always talked about getting those in Massachusetts and New Hampshire when going to visit Chloe. That's a big mainstay up there. Lobster rolls and whole belly clams. And it turns out a couple of places have them as well locally. One being Taste of Boston in Ballast Point, South Tampa, and then Beef and Sea out in Riverview. And they've both invited me. I got to get over there. So I will. I promise I will. So Beef and Sea in Riverview sent us a whole box of T-shirts. I got my whole belly clams at Beef and Sea, Riverview, and I didn't look. There are a number of T-shirts. They sent like 6 different T-shirts or 6 shirts, and there's one, which I guess this is going to be Froggy's. I didn't look at what was on the back of this one.
What does it say?
Froggy, look at this.
Does that?
I'm clairvoyant.
Oh.
I see whole belly clams in your future at Beef and Sea Riverview.
Hey, they ripped off my clairvoyant.
I mean, can you own
Biscuit's
that?
pissed.
Let me hold this up to MJ TV.
I'm clairvoyant.
You got it?
Oh, my goodness.
I'm clairvoyant.
Very funny.
It's great.
I'll be sending you an invoice for that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
I do have a trademark on clairvoyant.
Yeah, your character Biscuit is a
That's
clam.
right.
Is a clam. Is what did
He
Biscuit
interviewed
say?
He interviewed a clairvoyant.
Oh, that's right.
And then Donald got fell down steps.
Biscuit interviewed a clairvoyant, but Biscuit kept calling them a clamvoyant.
He's a very big fan of clams, just like you.
Would you like the clamvoyant
Yes,
T-shirt?
please.
It's all yours.
Very nice.
so much.
Of a clamvoyant. That's funny. All right, I have a tire warning. If you drive a car, one of those cars. If you drive a car, truck, whatever, SUV, you got to hear what's going on. This is a warning. I've got a tire warning from the MJ Morning Show. I might even call Craig, my tire guy, and see if he's noticing this, because I'm seeing the stories. I've seen numerous pictures. Get to that in a second. First, though, the J-Lo audio. And we started to play this yesterday, and in the first 5 seconds, it's a giant freaking F-bomb.
Well, I assured Andrew there wasn't. I just didn't know. I just took a wild
Andrew
guess.
even asked, is there any bad language in this? The Froggy's like, nope. And then like 20
So
seconds in.
explain this, Froggy. This is supposed to be audio of J-Lo in the studio recording a song with her vocal mic isolated.
Yeah.
And she's like off key. She's
Well,
off.
you know how these albums work. They pitch you right. They make you sound. They double you over, triple you over.
Well, listen, you've got some singers that are just amazing vocally. They can carry a tune. They're right on key. Then you've got some that clearly need a lot of help of studio tricks and auto-tune, that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, so she was singing. It sounds like some sort of a ballad on one of her fantastic albums. And she is just, brutal.
And this came up yesterday because we were talking about J-Lo, that her residency at MGM, where she was allegedly going to be paid $1 million a show. $90 million, 90 shows, $1 million apiece. 90 million. That deal could be in jeopardy because her concert tour flopped, and her latest music release, her latest CD, also a big flop as well. So now the story is, will MGM reconsider the fact that maybe she can't, fill a venue for a residency or 90 shows, and will they get their money out?
Dude, I go see Carrot Top before I see J-Lo.
Listen, I don't dislike J-Lo. I just always saw her stuff as being just remarkably disposable.
She's an actor that turned into a musician after the movie Selena.
All right, here we go. Listen.
The dancer.
I'd always dream. No! Whoa. I'm sorry, everybody. That hurt me, too. I'd always dream that fine. Sorry. That sounded so crazy.
All right, so that little F-bomb right there went over the air, yes. Well, actually, I hit the dump button.
Yeah, it was on the, YouTube.
Yeah, it was on YouTube and the podcast, but I did dump it. I hit the dump button quickly because no one told me she was going to curse and drop the F-bomb.
Well, she's hitting those notes like that because I think she's keystering one of P. Diddy's guns during the recording. So she's like, I had a dream.
Oh, speaking of P. Diddy, I've got a whole P. Diddy pile update here.
I sent you a big P. Diddy pile.
I've got like I got a ton of
Diddy
stuff
pile.
on P. Diddy, so hold on. We'll get to that in a second.
I'd always dream that. Okay, play it again. Corey, give me the note. Give me the note, Corey. Okay. No, that's not it. Okay, baby.
God, this
That's
is
some nervous laughter.
this is
The
awful.
producer's about to just quit.
My God, he's about to take a sledgehammer and smash the equipment.
Phil Spector would have pulled his gun out by now.
What a shot the tape machine.
Hit the note.
I'd always dream that fine. I'm still going off on always, right?
No,
No,
you're
you're
going
off
off, you're going off on everything. You are off key, J-Lo, on everything.
Where's your pitch whistle?
I'd always do it again. I'd always dreamed. Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead. Gimme.
My God, did they just...
Damn it, J-Lo, just hit the note!
I think his piano playing's getting worse too, just being in the same room as
I
someone.
bet you
who can't-
Roxanne's. I bet your daughter can come in here and hit that note
Yeah.
better.
Oh, my God,
Probably.
that's awful.
Never dream.
We don't have context here on when this was. Does anyone recognize the song that
Trying
she's
to look it up now.
attempting to sing?
I'd always dream that find the perfect lover.
A little better there.
But he turned out to be like every
All right, maybe
other
not.
man.
Oh, maybe not.
I've loved.
Can you imagine if she did this on American Idol?
They
Listen, I
boo
used to
her.
be married to her on the Latino Skeletor Mark Anthony's. I know how to sing.
I've loved.
What was that?
Raining.
Oh, my
I
God.
think she just tore one.
Man, that's rough.
Dude, if you're in that studio with her like that, could you imagine?
All right. Do we have any update on the guy that set himself on fire out in Plant City at Publix?
No.
He is not in great shape right now.
Yeah, fire seems to do that. I heard it's kind of hot.
It's a thing, man.
So
yeah.
last I saw, a 30-year-old. Can you see if there's an update on channel 10 or 13 or 28 or? Can you see if there's any update on this?
WTOG 44 has some breaking news.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
Oh, I thought you were serious.
30-year-old guy, critical condition, set himself on fire inside Publix in Plant City last night.
Why would you do that?
It's, around 6:30, Plant City Police Department was called to a problem at the Publix in the Walden Wood Shopping Center. That's on James L. Redmond out in Plant City. And caller called 911 saying someone set himself on fire inside the store. So you had people that scrambled to try to assist the guy, put the flames out. You know, they waited for Plant City PD, waited for the Plant City Fire and Rescue to show up. And ultimately, 30-year-old man was taken to a local hospital. And the last we saw was critical condition. And we don't know why. Why did the guy go into Publix and apparently self-immolate?
Where? What aisle?
Yeah, what department? Was he like in the freezer goods?
Why Publix?
I know nothing. Yeah, why did he target Publix? You know, was he angry?
Did he Publix target?
Did he miss out at a BOGO or something? Or I don't know.
Was the pub sub line too long?
I don't know. I hope the guy recovers.
I hope my fixtures didn't get burned.
Clearly, the guy has some issues if he's setting himself on fire.
I would say so.
Ugh,
Nothing fun about that.
That's not a pleasure.
Terrible, terrible story. The tire warning, folks. This is a tire alert.
What was that?
That was a tire.
Oh.
Going.
Oh.
Mechanics, tire folks are seeing this more and more. Guess what's turning into a major road hazard? With these devices getting stuck in tires, jamming into sidewalls? Have I given you enough of a clue? It's not your typical nail, your finishing nail, your screw, your.
This is not my wheelhouse.
I see the bungee cords with the little S clips all over the road all the time. And listen, there is so much crap. Michelle walks to the gym, and she has started a collection of crap that she finds. I see stuff in my neighborhood all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I walked 5 miles last night with my new 20-pound weighted vest. I walked 5 miles the night before. I've already done 10 miles plus this week. And I see crap all the time. I see nails and screws. But what is it? What is the latest alert that these are all over the place and people are getting them jammed in their tires? Tires are getting wrecked with this device that has become ubiquitous, and now they're being jammed up in your tires.
All right, you're not going to say something like the tooth flosser with the little point.
No, that's not those
That's
little
plastic.
those plastic.
I don't know, I'm asking.
That's not enough to pierce your tire. No,
I'm
no.
just talking.
No.
More.
I saw 2 of them while walking on my 5-mile walk yesterday. I walked 5 miles in South Tampa in Beach Park yesterday, and I saw 2 of these devices.
Like vaping cartridges?
Yes. That's what it is.
Really?
That's the correct answer. So,
I'm trying to think of things that are harder that people discard.
So tire mechanics, tire folks, auto dealerships, they're seeing an influx in vape pens, vape cartridges getting jammed up into tires, ruining tires because vaping is pretty rampant and people are chucking the damn things out their window. The vape cartridge is done, boop, chuck it. And even sometimes these get lost. Even I don't know much about vaping, but I guess you have the main device and then you put the new cartridges in, right? Is that how it works? Is that?
I don't know. I never used one.
Anyway, heads up, be careful because more and more people are getting. Oh, look, Fester has found a picture. Look at this. This is from Reddit.
My tire was punctured last night by a vape pen, and it's jammed right into the sidewall.
In the sidewall, the tire is destroyed.
Damn, how does that happen?
With a vape pen jammed through like it's an O.J. Simpson stabbing victim tire.
I mean, at the right angle. I mean, some of it's made of some kind of metal, right?
So heads up, this is becoming epidemic that more and more tires are being destroyed by discarded vape pens on the road.
The person goes on the comment, they think it's a pomegranate flavor.
All right, 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. Folks, when we get back in mere moments, I've got the P. Diddy pile. Man, we're starting to hear some movement about P. Diddy and the trouble he has with the feds. So stand by. We'll be back in just a couple of minutes. It's the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on a Thursday. And P. Diddy, Sean Combs, I got a pile of trouble on him next. On the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 922, Pat's got traffic. And the MJ Morning Show is back in minutes. Hang on.
Still finding it slow on 70.
here we go. 9:30 at the MJ Morning Show. I've got the P. Diddy pile. Where's Roxanne? I thought Roxanne wanted to be in on the P. Diddy pile. Where'd Roxanne go? Anyway,
I have no idea where she
is. She,
she's coming.
Oh, here she goes. I got the P. Diddy pile. But first, though, folks, breaking news. Guess who's also dropping prices? You know who did the big falling prices thing 20 years ago? That was Walmart.
Yeah, watch out for falling prices.
Watch out for falling prices at Walmart. Remember? And then the prices fell off the stand. Right? Remember that? And they would make little smashing noises. Some rug was $7.99, and then you see it drop down to $6.99, and there's a little bit of a little glass smash. So there's been a lot of racket lately about stores dropping prices. Walmart, Target. Who else? There were some other.
Target had the announcement last week.
Target, but we had multiple stories about shoppers are getting fed up. The price fatigue. And you know what's going on is that people are not spending as much in some of these stores, and they have to try to re-engage the consumer, the shopper. And we're seeing a rash of prices being dropped, and we're seeing a lot of noise and advertisement about these stores. And the latest now is Walgreens.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Walgreens announced yesterday. This is breaking news. Breaking news from Walgreens. Walgreens is going to slash prices on 1,300 items, and this follows Walmart, Target, Amazon, Fresh. They've dropped prices.
Okay, I have to say something. I've got the girls in here. What happens every time we go into Target? What does Mommy say?
All right. Can you just tell us?
Yeah.
All right, just tell us.
It's so expensive. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
We can't get out of there in under $400.
Jeez.
That's a
lot.
really high
No,
number.
it is a high number.
I know. So it was at Walgreens and CVS and those kind of places. They've always charged a premium for their convenience. You're able to run in and kind of get what you need. But I've noticed that this stuff isn't. It's really out of bounds expensive.
Right. So Walgreens and CVS, they're both the same. They're both high priced. You pick any consumer item, whether it's toothpaste or peroxide, whatever. For instance, I like the Dr. Bronner's, the Dr. B's soap.
Yes.
And that is I buy the 32 ounce, and I've purchased the half-gallon refills recently, but I like the Dr. B's Peppermint Pure Castile soap. I've been using it since I was a kid at Camp Ranger in the early 70s in the lake. So, because it was biodegradable.
Weird.
But a little strange. All right, but here's the deal. I've always liked this Dr. B soap. And Trader Joe's used to sell it, and they don't anymore. But Trader Joe's used to have it for $11.99. Walgreens would have it for $18.99. I mean, for the same, a $7 difference. You can get them on sale now. If you take a look and you time it right, Whole Foods sells the Dr. B's, and when it's on sale, it can be down to $11.99 or $12.99, and sometimes you even get a greater discount if you're a Prime member.
Oh man!
But the same stuff at Walgreens, because there's a Walgreens on the corner of Kennedy and West Shore. And I've walked in there, and I've seen the Dr. B's on the shelf. It was $18.99. It'd be $7 more than buying it at Whole Foods or Trader Joe's.
But all their stuff is just
It is.
marked up 30, 40,
Yeah.
50%.
So Walgreens and CVS, their philosophy was we've got stores on every corner. Oh, they closed the CVS on the corner of Kennedy and Dale Mabry.
Yes, they're closing a lot of CVS's. They closed a CVS in our neighborhood, near our neighborhood.
Yep.
And it's replaced with a Dollar Tree. And we were so mad. We're like, I love it. I would always run into that CVS and get
Yep.
stuff. Guess what?
Well, see, they're banking on you or consumers because their prices are high. You do realize that CVS and Walgreens, that their prices on Band-Aids,
Yes.
on Pepsi AC, whatever you go in for, that their prices are dramatically higher than if you go into Walmart or Target.
Well, guess what? Now I run into the Dollar Tree for half the stuff, and they have what may have been at CVS for much
Yeah,
less.
a lot more money.
But they're closing stores as well. And,
Yeah, they are.
For instance, I always thought the CVS at the corner of Dale Mabry and Kennedy, I always thought that that was a weird store. It just seemed like hard to get in and out of. Yeah, hard to get in and out of that store. And I guess it closed around March 1st. And I had no idea until it was sometime in April. And I'm like, what the hell? I was sitting at the light. I'm looking over there and I'm like, what the hell happened to CVS? What's going to go there?
For about 15 years, these two brands were in whizzing contests against each other. If you're opening up on one corner, I'm opening up right across the street.
Exactly.
Or one block away. And now maybe it's a little bit of too much saturation. You know, CVS and Walgreens, it's like they always dare me to shop at Walmart. We know you want it for a lower price, but you want to go to Walmart for it.
Again, it's the convenience that the CVS and the Walgreens, they popped up all over the place on all the different corners. As you said, back in the mid to late 90s and early 2000s, they were dealing with the corner wars. Who could get this corner, then open up right across the street on the other corner. And now I guess it's paying the piper time that some of these locations are closing because the saturation was too great. But they're banking on ubiquity, stores all over the place, and the convenience of being able to run in, even if it's paying, $5 more for a little bottle of Robitussin or whatever. But that's the deal. So
Walgreens is dropping prices.
Now Walgreens is dropping prices on 1,300 items at Walgreens.
Damn, isn't that like the entire store? 1,300.
Yeah, it does seem like how many items?
They're
do they
not
have in there?
huge stores.
We've dropped the flip flops from $12.99 to $12.49 at Walgreens.
Watch out. Oh, hey.
Watch out for falling prices at Walgreens.
Miss that guy.
Dude, I don't know if that voiceover guy's still alive. He used to do the Walmart career. He was the
falling price.
He was the falling prices sounding guy on the Walmart commercials years ago. So heads up. Speaking of prices, before I get to the P. Diddy pile to potentially close down the program today, you know that nearly 80% of Americans now think that fast food is a luxury item due to the high prices of fast food these days. Speaking of prices.
I believe it.
Yeah, it's not easy anymore. Like, I have no problem jamming my kids full of fast food. I have no problem with
Look
that.
at you. Of course you know.
Yeah, we have no problem with that, right? But, if it's $10, $15 each pop.
When's the last time you took your kids for a salad?
What salad? I tell
What's
my
that?
kid to eat some lawn clippings. Yeah, salad. Salad's
What were we saying?
No, but listen. Happy Meals are what, $6? You mean, the kids went to Chick-fil-A the other day, 2 sandwiches. Not even the meal, the sandwiches were like $12 for the 2 sandwiches. I'm like, it's not a lot of money for what you're getting. I want the Popeyes.
You know what my thing is now? I don't know. I think I told you this off air, MJ. If we go out to dinner, I justify it in my head because I'll only eat like half of my meal. And then I'll say, okay, I'm getting 2 meals out of this. So I'd rather go to a step up from fast food, enjoy my meal, and then justify that I'm having it the next day too.
Smart.
Mm-hmm.
Trick your brain.
Yep.
Yeah, new study shows that this is from Lending Tree. We've all heard of Lending Tree. It's a lender. They found that 78% of consumers now consider fast food to be a luxury purchase because of how expensive the meals have become.
It's inflation.
Thank you for that economic review, Michael.
You get fries now, and fries can be $5.
Yeah, it's devaluing of the dollar.
Yeah. Well, it's inflation. It's the whole shebang. When I saw this story, I thought that this was a Froggy prank. What? North Korea accused of sending balloons of trash and poop into South Korea.
Why would I ever do such a thing? I've never even been to Korea.
This is Froggy's advising Kim Jong-un
I
right
would do
now.
that to a neighbor or something.
Have you seen the video? So the North Koreans are sending hundreds of balloons south into South Korea, and the balloons are falling, and it's like trash and apparently dirt, and there have been reports of poop.
Very immature way of battle.
Yeah, it really is.
Over 260 inflated balloons and plastic bags tied to them detected earlier this week, Wednesday, according to the U.S. Joint Chiefs of Staff, or maybe it's the South Korean Joint Chiefs of Staff, but the North Koreans are retaliating because the South has sent like USB drives with like video and propaganda and sending leaflets over about, how they're in a hermit kingdom. They're all being oppressed. So in retaliation, the North Koreans are sending over balloons that are dropping trash and poop on South Korea.
Was that the Kim Jong guy's idea?
It sounds like his. Sounds like something
yes.
he has right up his sleeve.
Thought it sounded like your idea. All right, and then it turns out the scamster that tried to scam the whole Graceland real estate deal.
Was it a scammer?
Yeah, it turns out it's a Nigerian scammer. It's not.
Oh.
Yeah, a self-proclaimed Nigerian scammer has now come forward in that failed attempt to foreclose upon and then auction off Graceland, Elvis Presley's old home. Where Elvis is buried in the backyard, too.
Does this make him the best or the worst Nigerian scammer? I mean, he got this close. He got that close to Graceland. He's got to be like on the Mount Rushmore of Nigerian scammers.
I think they've run their course on the whole. My uncle was General Mamabatu Kabababa, and he amassed a $75 million fortune. I need to smuggle it out of Nigeria. If you could just send me $12,000, I'll share the $75 million with you.
I'm in.
Yeah, I think that scam has run its course. So now you got Nigerian scammers that are going after Graceland. Anyway, there was a company called Nauceny Investments and Private Lending, LLC, and they claimed the right to auction off Graceland. They attempted to auction off the home in a foreclosure sale, but now the self-proclaimed Nigerian scammers come forward. Yeah, you had a judge in Memphis that stopped the planned foreclosure, but on Tuesday, the apparent mastermind behind this attempt was unmasked by the New York Times, and they reported that the person is based in Nigeria with a Nauceny-associated email address. They reached out, and they just came clean. Yep, that was me. Big old scam. I'm a Nigerian scammer.
Gotcha.
The Nigerian scams are called the 417 scam. It's the Nigerian 417. Fester, if you Google Nigerian 417 scam, that's how most Americans have become aware of these Nigerian scams. But, people are still falling for it. Oh, my relative is a former prince in Nigeria, and they hid hundreds of millions of dollars. We need to smuggle it out of the country, blah, 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 blah. Anyway. So just double check my math. It's the 417 scam, or is it the 419 scam?
What does that mean? What does that number denote?
I think it was a code. I think,
an area code?
No.
Oh,
it was a it was I think a
419 was the other number?
Penal code. Yeah, the 419 scam. Okay, I said it's a 419 scam. Not what smells like. What is that?
A banana?
Does it smell like an overripe banana?
Yeah, it does.
What's so funny? You know what's so funny is I was going to tell you. MJ, I'm eating a banana, but I don't think you would like this one because I think it's past the point. It's like just a little bit.
Yeah,
right.
It's mushy.
It's mushy.
It reeks.
It's mushy.
Yeah.
It would be good for banana bread, maybe.
Anyway, not 417 scam, 419 scam. And I think that goes back to, it's a 419 is a section of the Nigerian criminal code is what it goes to. Anyway, so a ruthless Nigerian scammer has come forward to say that the whole Elvis auctioning deal was his idea.
Okay, you may have noticed I sent the kids out of the room because I wanted to get into the P. Diddy stuff, and I didn't really want them in here for that.
All right. Finally here on the MJ Morning Show, multiple stories over the last couple of days. P. Diddy has been abusing women for 30 years, according to a new bombshell report. Rolling Stone did a number on P. Diddy. Well, actually, let's be honest. P. Diddy's done a number on himself. So Rolling Stone has a whole new report on P. Diddy, showing 30 years, apparently, of abusing women. He also allegedly whooped a college girlfriend with a belt in front of screaming friends.
In college.
Going back 30 years ago.
Yeah.
How the heck did this guy get away with this for so long?
Happened at Howard University in Washington. That's also in the Rolling Stone piece. Then we have federal prosecutors are apparently preparing to bring accusers of Sean Diddy Combs before a grand jury. That report came out yesterday. CNN broke that. that P. Diddy might be appearing before a federal grand jury. So the walls are definitely closing in. We still don't know what was actually retrieved in the dual search warrants that were executed in Miami and Los Angeles. Diddy also is going to have a male sex worker apparently testify against him.
Oh, my.
Yeah, was this one of the ones, one of his girlfriends, I don't know if it was Cassie, but one of his girlfriends, he used to hook up with said male prostitute. Yeah.
Wow.
So now a male hooker, a male prostitute, a gigolo.
That's what he called his freak-offs.
Yeah, that's freak-off. So the male sex worker might be assisting the feds and might testify before a grand jury. And then the last thing here is that it is being considered to revoke his gold key to the city of New York.
Yeah, might want to go ahead and do that.
Yeah. Mayor Eric Adams told 1010 Wins, the Newswatch never stops. You give us 22 minutes, we'll give you the world. So 1010 Wins up in New York, the news station, interviewed Eric Adams, and it came up that they are reviewing all possibilities, which might include a revocation of the key to the city that Sean Diddy Combs was given.
Might?
We're
going to review this?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he couldn't keep it. I mean, we let R. Kelly keep his. So.
What are they
No,
nuts?
he has a key to the golden showers.
You know,
My kids are out of the room.
That's the way to end the show in a bang.
Ooh, dirty Roxanne.
Love it.
Dirty Roxanne. Anyway,
Love it.
So I think that we're going to start seeing some serious P. Diddy action. The federal grand jury apparently convening with testimony against P. Diddy. Obviously, federal prosecutors are going to hope for a grand jury indictment to be handed up. So we will obviously watch. But I think things are going to get very, very busy involving P. Diddy over the next couple of months. So I think that Sean Combs is done. I think he's toast. 9:47 at the MJ Morning Show. We got a roll. Busy show today. I really enjoyed today's broadcast. Let me check my viral video, see where I am right now. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, all right, folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow for the Friday show on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. If you don't follow me, if you want to get a hold of me via DM, check out my Instagram. It's Certified MJ Radio, or you can send me direct email. I'm the only one that sees MJ@MJMorningshow.com. My email, MJ@MJMorningshow.com. If you got a hot tip, gossip, something we need to know, hit me up via email, MJ@MJMorningshow.com. Folks, have a great Thursday. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning, and let's be careful out there.